morning, thanks for being with us for another early kickoff as Pompey are looking to get back to the ways of winning under the Cowleys, and what better way to do it this weekend as we make the trip to Buckinghamshire, specifically Stadium MK, to face an MK DONS side who come off the back of a 4-0 thrashing to fellow playoff hopefuls Lincoln City. Peterborough's win against Northampton last night means they are the league leaders going into the weekend. It's another example of a day to consolidate for Pompey in terms of a position in the playoffs. The jump to 4th is well and truly plausible. We're live from now until 2:30 here on Fournilwritten All Over It. Kick-off from Stadium MK is now just over an hour away. Really great to have your company this morning, ladies and gents. Thanks for being with us here live on Fournilwritten All Over It. We are slightly earlier than we normally would be, but nonetheless, we're here live until 2:30 this afternoon. Hello to Adam. Welcome along to the stream. Hope you're doing really well, mate. Good morning to Gavin, who said, Tom and Andrew, 2-0 Pompey today. Gavin would take a 2-0 win, mate. We would absolutely take a 2-0 win. Let me know how you're feeling about the game down in the comments section down below. Give us a score prediction, something that we can discuss perhaps. We've got plenty to get through in the next hour and a quarter here live on the show. We've got a couple of videos to show you. Really excited to bring them to you, actually, because I had a little look back at them earlier on in the week, and it's a lovely trip down memory lane. Hello to Alex. Welcome, mate. Thanks for being with us. Hello to Daniel. F1 and football fans in a frustrating 1-0 win. 0-1 from Jay. We'll take a 0-1, mate. Take a 0-1. Good morning to Mitchell, who says 2-1 MK Dons. That's not good news, is it? Not good news, Mitchell. Anyway, we do need to crack on. We're going to take a look at the league table. I've just had a look through it at the top of the show, but I thought we'd discuss it anyway, and in a little bit more detail, where Pompey can end up come probably, it'll be about 2 o'clock this afternoon. Let's take a look. So at the moment, they can see up there in top spot Hull City on 79 points. They've played the same amount of games as Peterborough. They're only separated by 5 goals of difference. Sunderland are leading the way in the playoffs, followed by Lincoln City, who beat the team that we're playing today by 4-0 the last time they played on Tuesday. Blackpool are the team that stopped Pompey from 6th position by 2 goals at the moment. With a win for Oxford and a loss for Pompey, they could sneak into the playoffs, as could Charlton, who play Ipswich Town this afternoon at the Valley. So plenty of permutations, lots of different things could be happening. But we'll have to wait and see. Cheers, Will. Appreciate it, mate. See you next week. Howard has said 2-1 Pompey from Howard in Suffolk. Welcome to the stream, Howard. Hope you're doing really well. Benjamin has said if we can score in the first 25, we'll win. If not, likely a draw. Need early confidence. Thank you for the comment. Hello to Shrewsbury Town Fan TV. Welcome along. Noel, you join us at 3:19 a.m, mate. That is good going. It's good going, mate. 3:19. We'll give it to you. Your beloved Pompey, your beloved Fournilwritten All Over It. We're all here. We'll be guiding you through until the early hours of the morning here on the show. Right, I think it's about time that we took a look at video number 1. It's the most recent time that we made the trip to MK Dons. The result wasn't what we wanted, but we enjoyed the day nonetheless. Let's take a look back together. Coming up tonight on Fournilwritten All Over It. Come here, mate. What's your name? Myself and Robson kneel down. Daphne's looking for a fight.
Otherwise, I shall have to throw my walking stick at them.
And whoa, stop the music. Hold on a second. Zoom in. Who is that? Good morning, Andrew.
Yeah, good morning, Tom. What a beautiful sunny day in Buckinghamshire. Lovely. Look at it. Sun shining. Birds are singing. 3 points. Get home.
Thanks very much for watching Fournilwritten All Over It. We'll see you next Saturday. Yeah. Welcome back to Fournilwritten All Over It, everyone. Thanks for joining me again, mate.
Pleasure, mate.
It's lovely to have you. This is the last time we're going to do this in this decade.
Crikey, yes. Year 2020 coming up, isn't it?
Yes, it is the last game of 2019 today for Pompey, mate, and we are looking forward to it. So myself and Ollie touched on it on Thursday night against Wycombe, mate. We've now beaten the 2 teams at the top of the division in the last 2 consecutive games at Fratton Park, convincingly. What do we do to replicate that away from home? Because as we've said, teams are a tough nut to crack away from home.
As I said anyway. For us anyway, they're a tough team to crack, Tom. Yeah. Tough nut to crack. For us anyway. The point is, we've been screaming for Andy Cannon to play midfield, haven't we? And now he's got him. He's the playmaker that's making the change. That's the difference, I think. And of course, Marcus not being on the pitch. But Tom, what I'd say is this division is open for anyone. Nobody is particularly good. In the previous years, you've had teams running away with it.
No one's running away with it, are they?
This is not going to be a Boris landslide, Tom, I don't think, but because I think they're fighting for their lives, so they're going to be tight, aren't they? And they're going to fight for it, and it might be a little bit more physical than we expect. But I think we should win this 4-0.
I think we should. I love how you give us all the reasons why it'll be difficult and then spring up with a 4-0 scoreline. That happens on the regular.
It doesn't happen very often, but it will do one day.
One day.
Today.
And this could be the day. You could be watching this thinking, what fools!
They were fooled.
They didn't know! You could also be watching this and we've lost 2-1 and we're like, oh, great. Welcome to the third part of our 3-part Christmas special at perfect timing. No, you can't see it.
Here we are, Tom, Stadium MK.
Lovely, isn't it?
Yes. Steeped in history.
Welcome to MK Don's Gate 1. Where, as you can see, it's absolutely heaving right now.
Number 1 gate, that is, Tom.
It's extremely busy. This is your first time here?
Yeah,
yes,
yeah. Into this one, so
we were watching you on YouTube on the way up.
Last year.
Great. We'll definitely keep that one in the edit. So, were you excited for today's game?
Yeah.
Very much.
Yeah,
definitely.
And do you think it's going to be a definite 4-0 win for Pompey?
Yeah, let's go with it.
Yeah, 4-0, definitely.
4-0.
I don't know. I think it's just a confidence game by wins.
Yeah, every time we win, we
unbeaten
gain a bit of
rolls.
confidence. We definitely do. Yeah, we've watched that. And watching the game on Boxing Day, that was definitely a real confidence booster for us, wasn't it?
Yeah, definitely. So hopefully the snowball effect and we'll carry on winning.
Yeah.
And do you think, Barbara, that we've turned a corner in our season now?
I do. I hope so. I think we missed the exceptional players we had last season, and that contributed to the slow start, perhaps.
Come here, mate. What's your name? You don't have to kneel like me. I'm just kneeling so we can get the shot for you. What's your name?
Awesome.
And Robson, what do you think the score's going to be today, mate?
0-0.
0-0. Can we say 4-0 written all over it, Robson? Do you mind?
Yeah.
You do mind?
Yeah, I think now we're going to kick on through, because around this time last year I think we had a drop, but this year I reckon we'll push on, maybe automatics. That's what I'm saying.
We'll see what happens, won't we? Thank you very much, mate.
Cheers,
Enjoy
mate.
the game. Have a good one. Confident
We are
for
going
it.
to win 4-0.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, it's going to happen.
Yes.
This is the team that it's going to happen against, I believe, as well, Daphne.
Yes. Otherwise I shall have to throw my walking stick at them.
Please don't do that.
I think we can go on and push for playoffs, maybe even automatic if we can. Looking forward to it, mate. This is my first game in a year. Season ticket holders. I've been in America, and I'm back.
Great, whereabouts?
I've been in Texas.
Cool.
Yeah,
cool, and you're back for MK Dons.
MK Dons.
What a way to come back.
I think that with Andy Cannon coming in, I think that's definitely a boost to our confidence and a boost to our team. So
yeah. And you're confident as well. You look very happy to be here.
Of course I am. I mean, MK Dons, of course I'm happy. Watch the Pompey.
Enjoy the game, guys. Thanks for coming on.
Thank you.
Have a good. Could today, Sam, be the day we see a 4-0 win?
Potentially.
Yeah,
I think, like bottom of the table, near the bottom of the table, you got to think you're confident. But given our away form, it could go either way, to be honest. So you never know.
Well, I'm confident. I mean, the last 2 wins were good. I thought we played well, and I think if we win today, going into the dangerous January, but I think we'll be all right. I think if we win today, it's a good boost going into January where we've struggled before.
Right, and boys, we don't need to rehearse this. What's the score going to be today?
It's going to be 4-0,
lads. Up the Blues.
Yeah, let's get in.
Thanks, boys. Cheers, mate.
Cheers. Pleasure, mate. Have a good day.
If we play as good as we played against Wickham, I think it would be a good old 4-0.
Good form at home recently, so beat Wickham, they're top, so got a good feeling about coming in today away.
I think we're going to obviously win. We put out a strong lineup, high expectations.
I reckon we're going to win 2-1, like I said.
Yeah, I reckon the score is going to be 3-1.
last time here at Stadium MK, mate. Looks wonderful in the background, but it's not gone quite to plan. So MK, it's your MK Dons 2, Pompey 0.
Well, they're pretty poor, aren't they, MK Dons? They had 2 strikes on goal, scored from both of them. One was a poor, bad back pass, wasn't it? Just let the guy in and slotted it away. The second one, to be fair, was quite a good strike, left-footed from outside the box. They couldn't connect it well, and that's it.
Less important about the goals, mate. It's more how it came about and what you do to rectify that. And it's because it's a big second half now, isn't it?
I still don't think, Tom, we're in danger of losing this game. I think we'll go on and win this now. I think we score one early in the second half and then put them under pressure, get two, get them out of the 2-2. I think we can win this game then. I still think we can win the game, Tom. I'm confident we can win this 3-2, Tom. 4-2 in fact. I'm going to go to full hog, 4-2.
Whole hog, full Monty.
Yeah, 4-2, final score. Unless they score.
I don't know how you have that much enthusiasm, mate.
Unless they score.
And then it won't be 4-2, will it? Anything you'd want to change at half time?
No, leave it.
Last time we were here downstairs, you said, bring on Connor Chaplin.
Can't do that, Tom. Any better Barnsley.
Last time we were here, mate, we were elated on the way out, but I'm just going to say, before we get going, that's Accrington Stanley we've lost 2 away from home, then that's MK Dons, that with respect to those teams will probably be playing League 2 football next year.
Yeah.
And off the back of 2 fantastic results over the festive period against 2 of the teams to beat in this league, I know we keep going on about it, but
fantastic results and 2 fantastic losses.
All I want to say is 6 out of 9 over Christmas. Yeah, you take that, won't you?
Take 6 out of 9, but you want to lose a bit on Keynes Dons, do you? But
you don't.
That's life.
That is life. It's going to be a very quick one. As I said, the battery's dying in this camera, so
we had a chance to move 1 or 2 up in the first half, didn't we? Yeah. We didn't take those chances. That's the difference, Tom.
Yeah.
They took 3 chances and took all 3, didn't they?
Yeah. Absolutely.
That's it.
That is it.
Knock them in the friggin' net.
That is it for myself and Andrew in Stadium MK. Thank you very much for watching. It's all over here, but it's not for Pompey. Still half of the season to go. Lots can happen between now and then. Hey?
Yes, let's keep the faith.
Keep in the faith. Thanks for watching all year. Thanks for all the support, and we'll see you in 2020.
Next year. See you next year.
Have a good one. Keep the faith. And Happy New Year. We said we'll see you in 2020, and what a wonderful year that was. Anyway, that is a very sort of brief look back at the final game of last season when we played them at their place, away from home, back in the day. That was a wonderful day out. Bit rubbish on the scoreline, but it was wonderful nonetheless. I've got some team news to bring you, ladies and gents. I have indeed got some team news. It's Harvey White, who is in the starting 11 for Pompey. It's an early start for us. The starting 11 is out, and I'm going to bring you that in just a moment. Aaron is not with us this morning. That is not a problem, mate. He's a busy man, and hopefully we will be able to speak to him on Tuesday. So that is something I'm looking forward to. Hello to Louis on Facebook, who says it's a good game today because we've got Lee Brown back, and if we win, going for 4. So please, 4-0 Pompey. Hello to Rebecca. Welcome to the stream. Thanks for joining us. Jack's here as well. Hope you're doing really well. Mickey's in the building too. Josh is going for a 4-0 all season. Well, with this team news, will it be a 4-0? I'll let you have a quick look at it, and you can make your mind up for yourselves, ladies and gents, because from my point of view, I think it looks pretty strong. Let's take a look. Craig McGilvery in goal. A back 4 of Callum Johnson, Jack Whatmough, Sean Raggett, and Charlie Daniels, who retains his place in the starting 11. Tom Naylor and Harvey White are 2 midfielders. Then Marcus Harness, Ryan Williams, Ronan Curtis, and John Marquis. So all that we've got basically is a like-for-like swap. Ben Close out for Harvey White, and obviously Ben Close has had a fantastic couple of games under the Cowleys, and he's really rejuvenated his season, so it's a shame that he's out with a groin strain, not injury, strain, I'm led to believe. So hopefully it won't be too long before we can see him back in a Pompey shirt, in an orange shirt today. We are in the orange, which is good. We sort of, with the last couple of weeks, we played quite well in the orange, haven't we? So there we go, if that's an omen or not. Kurt
Curtis is going for a 3-1 Pompey. Joe's liking the trim. Adam's saying 4-0. Will was a fan of the facial hair. Boys and girls, let us know what your score prediction is today. I mean, I'm going to give you my point of view. MK Dons today will be looking to avoid going 4 league games without scoring for the first time for them since October 2019. Abby's a bit concerned about the left-hand side of the pitch looking weak. We will discuss that in just a moment. There was Joe's going for a 2-1. There we go. There was obviously a lot to like on Tuesday, but things to work on still. Will it come against an MK Dons side? Pompey have scored at least once in all 7 encounters with this side, who are still in their infancy as a football club. Obviously, they've only been around for the last sort of 20, I think it is, years. And Pompey are unbeaten in 3 away from home in the last couple of weeks, which is, I don't know if that's anything to go on. And obviously MK Dons, well, not obviously, because you might not know this, but MK Dons host Pompey for only the 4th time in their league history. So this is only the 4th visit to Stadium MK. Could it be a 4-0 scoreline today? Adam will be discussing the last game, with our guests very shortly. Michael's going for a 2-1 win, bit like that Connor Chaplin win, which we are going to watch in a little while. Before we do so, let's take a quick look at how the two teams compare going into this one. And then we will speak to everyone's favourite duo, Brendan and Mike. And I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll hear from Smithy Boy, who's in a rather luxurious location this morning. And this is what he's thinking ahead of this one.
Right, ladies and gentlemen, we are outside the Theatre of Dreams. It's Portsmouth versus MK Dons today. It's an absolute massive game for Portsmouth. They're sitting 6th space just in the promotion spots, only just by a few points. I think it's 2 or 3 from last time when I looked. MK Dons sitting mid-table. Absolutely massive game. Portsmouth have to win. They need to go back up into the Championship, where the big boys are, where the mighty Rotherham are. I don't know why I pointed to the badge there, because it's a Nigeria badge. But we move up the Pompey. Score prediction 2-1. Come on.
So he's going for a 2-1, and obviously there's an outside look. Good morning to you, gentlemen. I believe Brendan might be working. A discussion with Mike this morning, but he said a 2-1, and Mike, Pompey do need that win, don't they? Because it's been a couple of weeks away from winning ways.
Yeah, we need the 3 points, and I think today we've got to get it. Otherwise, it's going to start looking a bit more shaky. Your dad most probably won't agree with it, but I think it's a necessity. It's a dead cert. We've got to get it. It's not a dead cert that we'll win. Things start coming adrift if we don't win today.
It's interesting you got the shirt behind you, Brendan, but he's not actually in the starting 11 today, is he?
No, it's a bugger that. I've got a bit of decoration up in my room for a bit of a background, but then no, he's not playing, is he?
He's not, but that doesn't matter too much. Just on that, actually, Brendan, do you think that will be an issue for Pompey today? Harvey White's in, he's starting, which many people will think is a plus point, but seeing as Ben's had quite a very decent run under the Cowleys in the last couple of weeks, how do you see it?
Well, I kind of agree with what Danny Cowley said on Tuesday night when he said Ben's looking a bit leggy, which is probably right, because he didn't get that run of games that Mr. Jacket never gave him. So it's going to happen. But Harvey White, I think he'd be good. I'd rather personally, I'd like to see Andy Cannon in there if he's fit. But at the same time, Harvey's got a nice little left peg on him, and he'll be pinging the ball about, which Tom Naylor's been lacking in the last 2 games. His passes have been a bit wayward. But I'm happy to see Harvey in there, and hopefully he can bring his Premier League class of Tottenham to the MK Stadium today.
As Brendan said, he's got a good left foot, so let's win some free kicks on the outside of the box and let him take them. Let's see what he can actually do. He's known for these free kicks, so let's see it, and hopefully they play to that strength.
And Mike, it's particularly poignant today, isn't it? But it is well and truly action stations for Pompey this afternoon. Yeah,
it is. Action stations from my naval days is a blaring siren right in your ear when you're fast asleep. It's a bit different than a bugle call or a pipe on the bosun's whistle and that. So yes, it is action station for Pompey. As I said, we need the 3 points. We've got to have the 3 points. Got to keep this playoff place, at least one of them, to ourselves at least. So we've got to have it, and hopefully they'll be in retreat. Let's hear that being played by their players, and let's push on.
Brendan, Jay said he doesn't know what we think, but MK Dons have an extremely quick right back up against Daniels. He could have a lot of joy. That's my only concern. What I'd say back to that, Jay, is it's a very good point. But imagine if we had Lee Brown in there. I would imagine Charlie Daniels, for a lot of people, is a lot more pacey, isn't he?
Yeah, definitely. I think that Lee Brown. I don't think he gets tight enough to his winger, because whenever it's like a diagonal ball from their left to right, and Lee Brown's never close enough to his man, and he's a bit off the pace. He's good for team morale, and he can score a penalty. He's scored a couple at Wembley, and he's got a bit of a rocket of a left foot when it's a dead ball situation. But other than that, I think Daniels is a lot more experienced and a lot more of a class player, in my opinion.
Will we see with Harvey White playing in his place in front of Daniels, who's gonna get the nod on the free kicks? That's what I mentioned earlier. But if Daniels, we know he's good at free kicks, but I'd rather have Daniels, as you say, than Lee Brown at this moment.
And just on reflection on Tuesday, Mike, it was a very physical game, wasn't it? What are your thoughts looking back on what Pompey need to build on going into today's game at Stadium MK?
Well, I mean, I love our type of flowing football that we play, and I think get away from the aggression. We've got to play that football. We haven't got a big aggressive players. When you look at the teams, other teams maybe above us, and also in the Championship, we're going to certainly have to need some stronger, physically taller people in our squad, or we stick to the smaller, slighter players for agility, speed, and outfoxing them, want for a better word, with our football. So yes, MK Dons, interesting game today.
And I'm sure you would have seen his comments in the week, Brendan, but Danny Cowley was very sort of praising of his players. He said to us that we're still a team in progress, but perhaps we are the team making the most progress in the division. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, definitely. We need to see more. We are seeing progression in the team, and there'll be a lot more to come. As Danny Cowley said, the team just can't change overnight like that. You need to sort of grow and take in their mythology and their and their style of play, because we can completely changing what we were doing beforehand, and even we're developing it always, and because where we've changed our manager late in the season, a lot of teams are set, they're stuck, they're in their ways now, and there's very little for them to maneuver now, where we're going to be growing all the time now with our new manager.
We changed as soon as they came in, because you look, I mean, we all said it, look at the difference that they played. It was out was the jacket ball, that had gone. Yeah. So, and the speed and the ferocity that they were running around, that lifted. But they've got tired. We know they've got tired. I mean, you can wrap it up in words in any way that you want. They have been playing the Cowley way, and that may have been the reason for the loss, for the draw. And the stamina rebuilds again. So hopefully, we perked up again, built the energy up, and today we're going to go for it.
I'll just build on what you were both saying there, but with the new management setup that's come in, compared to some of the groups of teams, and MK Dons are quite a good example, though they have had a managerial change in Paul Tisdale went out and they've got Russell Martin in, but some League One setups in the most extreme of cases have been together for longer than a season, longer than 2 seasons. You would be concerned, and the worry is becoming a little bit stagnant in your play. Whereas if we've got these new ideas, obviously it's very intense for the players, and that's exactly what you were just saying. Fresh ideas being implemented and still being implemented weeks on. So I don't think that's the concern, is it, Brendan?
No, not at all, not at all. Because I think it'll be easier to suss another team out if they've been playing the same thing all the time. Just I look at MK Dons, for example, and I see a bit of experience in there. You've got Cameron Jerome up front, and their centre half, I can't remember his name, the captain, the ginger chap. He's been in there since they're Wimbledon. So he's a stalwart in their team, and they are probably a team that's set in their ways. But as you said, they've had new management change. But the team's been around a long time, where our team's fairly still fresh, really, over the last couple of years.
Yeah. Since we've been chatting, Mike, a lot of people have been discussing the penalty. From your point of view, has John Marquis got an awful lot of a point to prove this afternoon?
He's got more than a point to prove. He's got 3 points to prove by getting us the bloody win in the first place. Sorry, but I just thought that it was a soft dolly on the end of his foot that took that penalty, and I thought, but why was he so eager to take it? And if he's not so fit, certainly in the ankle. That was most probably the bad ankle, the one that he's been off with. So really, it should have been faulted to somebody else. And I can't understand why the manager didn't say, you're not taking them because of your right peg. Well, in that case, then he shouldn't really have been playing. But he certainly been maybe he's been fooling the manager with how fit he feels and that it's not hurting as much and he's hiding it, whatever. But he should never have taken that penalty.
No, and going on from that as well, there's a lot better people on the pitch that I'd rather give the penalty to. You know, I'm not really looking at either Harness or Curtis even. I wouldn't let Curtis take it after his penalty. I said Raggett because it's penalty at Wembley. He scored at Wembley. And even Charlie Daniels is a dead ball specialist. It's like you got two guys here, well, even especially Daniels with his Premier League pedigree and his set piece sort of specialty. You know,
there was a necessity to score that penalty. Yeah. We had to get the 3 points. We needed the 3 points. And if it depended on us staying in the playoff positions, then somebody else should have taken that. And that's the only slight criticism of the Cowleys, that they should have said, no, you're not taking it. Somebody else had taken it. But I can understand maybe why they let him take it, but it wasn't the right choice.
Because Mark was his history in penalties. He missed the Bristol Rovers penalty, didn't he? And I never see him hit the ball cleanly when he takes penalty either. It's always with the back of his heel, and it's our mate Harrison used to score his penalties, didn't he? And he was always he never missed one.
It's the same old thing. I think they're saying, right, let him score a goal and it'll bring his confidence back. How many chances has he had to do that over the time that he's been with us, and it's never happened?
We won't drag on it too much because I want to discuss some more of you gents, but just to say as well that I think there is a little bit of what Danny Cowley said after the who was the last team he played at Fratton Park? The Burton game. Thank you. The Burton game. He said that any team would be missing Johnny Marquis up top in League One. I think were his words in his post-match interview. So you can see that you can go back and watch it, and that is exactly what he said. You can see there.
I just think, and when he says misses them, I miss him. Hopefully for the right reason. If somebody else came in and scored the goals.
Yeah, absolutely. Anyway, we'll move on from that one. It's an interesting comment from Thomas, who said MK Dons have a lot of mistakes in them. Lincoln 4-0 wasn't that simple on paper, which is true because Lincoln have been on a bit of downward trajectory, Mike. And how do you see this one going in today? We're 45 minutes from kickoff now. What will be the message from Danny Cowley, would you have thought today? Just get back and get those 3 points and let's get home, probably, I would imagine.
Yeah, but he'll say press high, obviously, and that's what we expect. That's the style we want. We want the fast-flowing football. I keep saying it, but we do want that fast-flowing football. But we also got to make sure that we defend correctly. And as I mentioned the other day, that I'm not too keen all the time passing it across the back so close to goal. I don't mind it when we're a little bit outside the box, but when we're inside the box and he's going backwards and forwards like that, I get a bit sort of twitchy. But I also don't want the long ball. We don't want the long dead ball that we don't get a chance of winning because we haven't got the tall strikers to compete against the tall defenders on the other team. So yes, it's a win. It's a win. We've got to get those 3 points.
And also, the MK Dons play back three, don't they? I think Richard. I don't know if Richard Keogh is playing today, but he's one of their boys. And again, another experienced centre half, but he's got a mistake in him. So I remember Derby County in their playoff final with Frankie Lampard. He caused the error that didn't let him win the final. So
we got the young lads up the front, or 5 of them. If they start pressing them on while they're trying to play 3, it will keep their wing backs back, and also it will allow our lads to run a bit faster around the older guys that are in their team.
Yeah, absolutely. Jake, just to say, we do have Andrew. He will join us just before kickoff today. So that's good news. Gentlemen, just finally, you were talking about how far we're playing right across our bows, really, Mike. And obviously, Ben Close isn't in the starting 11 today, which is a shame because he's behind you. But, well, he's not behind you. His shirt's behind you. The thing that we've seen quite a lot with Ben and something that I've noticed watching us in the last couple of weeks, from the moment that the Cowleys came in, He's operating this sort of role when we're in possession. He's right down by McGilvery's sort of goal mouth, well, not goal mouth, but right on the sort of the edge of the penalty area. How would you think Harvey White will slip into that role today, Brendan? Do you think it will be a like for like as we were thinking, or is he going to play a slightly different way today?
I think he'll play a very similar role to Ben Close because they're very sort of similar players in the sense of they're quite short, they're quite agile, they can nip in and they can duck and duck, low centre of gravity, and they can both pick a pass. And I think it will slip in there quite well because I noticed this quite a lot when Jackett first started at the club. And I remember watching the Checker Trade Trophy games, and when Adam May was playing, Adam May would do a similar sort of thing. He'd come really deep and play like a third centre half, and he'd pick the ball up and he'd be on the turn and stuff. And it'll be very similar. That was a box-to-box midfielder, maybe a hint of Ward-Prowse in the sense of that sort of getting. He'll be on the edge of the opposition's box, but he'll also be on the edge of our box as well.
Without Close being there, when Close plays there and does that, Naylor pushes a little bit further forward. Perhaps Naylor's going to go back to where he used to play in that sort of role, just playing off the defenders or just in front of them or even alongside them at times, and then White will get forward, like Brendan said. So Naylor may play the Close role.
Gentlemen, thank you for the moment. Dean Lewington is the name you're looking for, Brendan, the ginger guy. It's 36, so...
He's horrible. I remember him when we went up there that day, 5,000. He was horrible that day. Don't like him.
No.
Thank you for the moment, gentlemen. We speak to you at half time. You might remember watching this one. We had Christian Burgess was on the show two MK Dons visits ago. It was the big 7K to MK. Let's take a look and have this trip down memory lane together.
It's got 4-0 written all over it.
Good morning, Tom.
Massive away following from Pompey this afternoon, mate. 6,000 of us travelling up to MK Dons today. Looking forward to it.
Yeah, I am. I'm surprised that actually MK Dons gave us 6,000 tickets, Tom, but it's great, isn't it? And we've obviously taken them and sold them.
Fantastic news,
great income for them, isn't it?
Exactly.
And they'll be surprised when we bang 4 past them, I think.
Yeah, I know we say every week it could be 4-0. But this week, more than ever, I think, exactly.
It's law of averages say we've got to win sometime.
Well, yeah, it's been a while, hasn't it, since we've won 4-0, so we'd like to see it happen, wouldn't we? Anyway, should we turn the radio on and see what's playing at the moment, mate?
Yeah, let's get some music.
Yeah, let's do that. For the journey. You join us in a remote location somewhere between Luton and Milton Keynes. We're in Hookcliffe, aren't we, mate?
Yeah, let's get in here, Tom.
After a pulsating previous draw against Doncaster, today Pompey travel with their biggest away support of the season and face an unmotivated MK Dons side who have won just one of their last 12 league games. This is Fournilwritten all over it. So a very good afternoon, broadcasted to you from a very obscure location this afternoon. We're not on a Toby Carvery, as you can probably tell. We're in a Harvester, and somewhere between Milton Keynes and Luton. So we're on the A5. It's a very remote location, quite quaint little place.
We're in Hookcliffe, Tom.
Hookcliffe. So there you go. If you ever come to Milton Keynes, Hookcliffe is the place to be. Let's make the 20-minute drive down to MK Dons, get some interviews from MK Dons and Pompey fans this afternoon.
We're going to win.
Well, that's always a good start.
It may have 4-0 written all over it.
It might do, yeah.
But I'm just hoping we go win.
How are you feeling about today's game, Dave?
I'm feeling fairly confident today.
Good.
Yeah, I think it's definitely 4-0 written all over it today.
Exactly, yeah, very nice.
I was there last week. Great end.
What did you make of it?
Well, the last 10 minutes was really exciting, wasn't it? Great atmosphere. I hope we have the same atmosphere here today.
And how are we feeling about today's game?
Brilliant. Should be good, mate.
Is it your birthday today? How old are you going to be?
7.
7? You know what? I was 7 when I was his age.
So was I.
Yeah. What do you reckon the score might be?
3-1.
We are here, Milton Keynes, with the bottom legend, Sean himself. How are you feeling today, mate?
Yeah, brilliant. I'm absolutely confident today that this could be 4-0 written all over it.
Are you seriously confident?
Honestly. And I hope Andrew's put his bet on.
Yes.
Because I would hate for it to be missed. Allocated 1,500. I thought we'd have sold 3,000. You doubled that and had the pay on the day, 6,500 possibly. There's quality. You don't get that everywhere.
Enjoying your hot chocolate.
It's great, Tom.
It's rocking, isn't it? This is a lovely stadium.
This is hot and chocolate.
Is it?
Yeah.
4-0 all over it. Had to be, didn't it? 4-0 all over it.
Like you, 2-1. Oh, you just ruined it then. Yeah. Score prediction?
2-0. Positive. I reckon 4-0 written all over it. What do you reckon?
Yeah. 4-0. And what do you reckon the score will be today? 4-1. 4-1. That's not quite 4-0.
He's not written the script.
What team lineups looking like? Luke McGee, Anton Walks, Hawkins, Clark Donahue, Thompson and Ben Close in the middle, and Gareth Evans, Ronan and Kennedy all behind Brett Pittman.
I think it'll be quite close. Obviously Portsmouth's form's not great, but I think it'll probably be a draw, to be honest.
Yeah. Not 4-0 written all over it then?
No, not 4-0 written all over it.
I'll go for 4-0 written all over it.
Very
Yeah,
nice.
I'm feeling optimistic.
Yeah.
Must be the beers, but yeah, I'm feeling it.
Exactly. Doesn't
Yeah.
matter. That's fine.
Yeah.
And how are we feeling, guys? Looking forward to it?
Yeah, first Pompey game.
4-0?
Maybe.
Maybe. And what do you reckon, mate?
I reckon 2-1 Pompey. I don't reckon a big score today.
Fair enough.
Tough game, tough lineup, tough opposition.
We'll be fine. 4-0.
Yeah. I'm feeling confident. I think we're going to get a good result today. There's a lot of fans here, so
yeah,
we're going to go
4-0.
Not 4-0 written over it, no. But I think we're going to go. We're going to go for 1-1 today. I think Matt Clark first goal scorer.
Fair enough.
What about you?
I'm going for a 2-1 Pompey win today.
Okay, fair enough. And what's that?
Because I feel like we've had a good few performances recently, but things haven't quite come off for us.
Yeah.
But I feel today, the day we're going to get a win.
Right, here we go. Score predictions today, guys.
4-0 written over it.
This is Max Davey. He's going to get really annoyed about this.
Right.
This is why you should turn up to the away games, right?
Exactly, Max. Why are you not here, mate? What are you playing at? Score prediction. Got 4-0 written all over it. Right, Christian Burgess at MK Dons. What's it got, mate? Talk to me.
It's got 4-0 written all over it. 4-0 written all over it.
Winning, losing, or drawing. It's about being a Pompey fan.
Exactly. That's exactly
what it's all about.
Exactly. And also, score prediction for this afternoon, mate.
Score today's got to be 4-0 win all over it. It's got to be 4-0 win all over. Thank you very much, Edmund. Have a safe journey home. I love you. I love you lot. 4-0 win all over. Have a safe one. Yeah.
We're in Dom at MK Dons, and how are you feeling about today's game so far, mate?
Oh, a bit gutted about the scoreline at the moment, but I think we'll bounce back.
Let's hope so.
Absolutely.
And we want to promote Dom's here. He's got a lovely little B&B in Torquay. If you're ever down at the Plymouth, actually no, he probably shouldn't, because you might be oversubscribed for the Plymouth game. Do you know what I'm saying? Because we don't want to send everyone down there because you won't have enough beds.
Well, you can't send them down for the Plymouth game because I'm going to be at the Commonwealth Games in Australia. So.
Oh right, okay. Don't come from the Plymouth game then.
I just want to shout out to Julie at home. Hello, Julie. And as we're promoting our B&B, Kettler House, Belgrave Road, Torquay, www.kettlehouse.co.uk. Love to see you there.
We'll leave a link in the description. There you go, mate.
Thanks very much.
Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Stadium MK. Half-time here. It's Milton Keynes 1, Portsmouth 0. That hasn't gone too well, has it?
First half not too good, Tom. First 10-15 minutes I think was alright, but after that it's MK Dons sort of took control of the game, didn't they? We looked very disappointing in the final third, I think. Looks like Kenny Jackett's heard what we've got to say, mate.
Yeah.
He's brought on Jamal Lowe and Connor Chaplin, so
that's right, isn't it? Yeah.
That's a good start to the second half, mate. We've got to win this game now, 4-1. Tom, what a result that was.
Best 4-0 I've seen.
So it finished. MK Dons 1, Pompey 2. Nicked it last minute. What have we been saying? Colin Chaplin for about 3 months.
Yeah.
And then he goes and scores an absolute
90 plus 3 minutes. What a result!
That is a result, and I don't even know what to say. I'm just
it's just a great day out.
Thank you very much for watching this week's episode of Fournilwritten all over it. What a win!
90 plus 3 minutes.
As you can tell, it never happens to us, does it? As you can tell by the look on our faces.
We are ecstatic.
We are a little bit, aren't we? Anyway, we'll see you next Saturday. We're going to Southend away. That'll be a big one, a bit rainy, but you know.
Nice trip to the seaside.
Thank you so much for watching. We will see you next Saturday. Do not forget, you can go and buy your own Fournilwritten all over it jumper. The score link.
Well, it could be 2-1 written all over it.
Well, we'll see you next Saturday against Southend. Thank you very much for watching this week's episode of 4-0 all over 4-0 blah blah blah. Thanks to Andrew for joining me and everyone behind the scenes. See you next Saturday. Keep the faith. Thanks to all the Pompey fans that have been in the video and MK Dons fans. Obviously, we'll see you at Southend. Keep the faith. And of course, play out Pompey.
Well, doesn't that make you miss football? Crikey. That was quite a few years ago now, but that was probably one of the greatest memories in recent years, at least, following Pompey, with 7,000 away fans at MK Dons. And speaking of MK Dons, we're going to speak to an MK Dons fan right now. Before we do so, let's take a look at the previous matches between the two sides. So you can see there in the last 7 games, you can see the couple of score lines. Those are the 2 games at the top that we've just covered for you here on Fournilwritten all over it. One win for MK Dons, 2 draws between the two sides, and on 4 of the occasions, Pompey have come away with all 3 points. And hopefully this is going to be only the 4th time that MK Dons host us in their league history, but could it be a 4-0 written all over it win today? That is the question on everybody's lips. I'll ask the question to Joe, who joins us live now. Good afternoon, Just, to you, mate. Welcome along. How are you?
I'm very good, mate. I'm doing well. How are you?
Yeah, I'm very good, mate. I'm very good. Looking forward to this one, very much so. We were just discussing, but before we went into this one, Dean Lewington is 36 years of age, but absolutely what a servant to your football club.
Yeah, he's been brilliant. Like 900 appearances for MK Dons, around that. Oh, he's been brilliant. Like he even played the original Wimbledon before we even got we were even club. So he's fair play to him. What a legend. And hopefully he's here for a few more seasons come, hopefully.
And at the other end of the pitch, Joe, you have a certain Will Grigg up front for you at the moment. Tell me about him.
He's been good. He's been good. He hasn't scored since Gillingham. I'm not sure, but he's been good. He's been good. Great addition. He's been doing well. So is Cameron Jerome, other striker. So he's been quality. Yeah.
And someone that sort of Pompey fans might not be aware of is a man called Scott Fraser, who scored 11 goals for you so far this season, plays on the right-hand side. Is he someone to be wary of for Pompey today? He looks half decent given his goal record.
He's very good. He's very good dribbler, good pass. He's all-rounder. He's doing really well as well. Can score. He assists goals. He's been good. He's been really good. So
and from an MK Dons point of view today, Joe, what can you realistically expect to get out of a game like this?
Obviously, we were doing well in March. April so far hasn't been great. We haven't won our last 3 games. We haven't even scored in our last 3 games. We got a draw and 2 losses, 0-0 against Ipswich. And obviously it's away as well at Pompey. So I'm not too sure. I think you're going to win. I think it's going to be 2-3-1 to you. Hopefully we get a goal, or hopefully if we can get a point or 3 points even, that'd be good. But I'm not very optimistic, but to be honest.
Okay. Fair play. MK Dons, your side, are safe from the drop zone. It's not looking likely for playoffs either. So is it sort of is it an achievement for you to stay in League One from your point of view?
Obviously it is, but I think I was kind of expecting us to stay up anyways, since we did last season, and we got relegated a few years ago. But Martin's been doing well, so yeah, I kind of expected this kind of finish, really, mid-table kind of. Hopefully, we can push for the top half of the table. So with the last few games, but yeah.
It was all looking a little bit sort of doom and gloom, wasn't it, with Paul Tisdale and at the sort of. We won't talk too much about him, but can you just describe the change that Russell Martin has sort of brought about at your football club, and how pleased are you to have him as a man leading you at the minute?
He's been really good. Like his style of play isn't boring. Tisdale, it was just it's different. We brought in some really good players. We've been scoring goals and everything. It's been good. We've been a lot more possession as well. We've been top in like the top 5 league or something like that. We've been top in like even one of the like Premier League, Ligue 1, La Liga. We've been top over PSG and Juventus and all that. Possession wise, so his style of play has been really good.
It's impressive, isn't it, to be an MK Don side and be leading the way in terms of possession all over Europe. It's a credit to you. Just finally, I know quite often what happens is when you play the team you're playing against will look at your previous game as a sort of a reflection on where you are at the moment. That 4-0 loss to Lincoln City, was it a 4-0 as in we all look at it and see you got absolutely battered, or was it just Lincoln had a little bit too much for you? What was it that happened on Tuesday?
So I'm not sure. The first half it was 0-0. We were looking okay. I don't know what happened. They just took their chances at the end of the day. And our keeper, to be honest, he wasn't great. He's starting again today. I wanted them to switch keepers because, to be honest, Fisher, who we're playing at the moment, not been recently hasn't been good at all. To be honest, I hate to blame the keeper, but it kind of has to because the defense has been pretty good.
It's an experienced defensive line, isn't it? You've got Dean Lewington at the back there, and Andrew Sermon as well is a man who's played an awful lot of football, especially at this level. So, that's good. Just finally, Joe, I know you said 3-1 at the start, but since we've had the conversation, have you changed your mind on your score prediction, or are you still thinking of 3-1 Pompey?
I'm not sure. Since we haven't scored in our last 3 games, you know what? I'm not sure. Maybe 1-0, 2-1. I reckon we're gonna get a goal, but you're gonna end up at least getting a point out of this, I reckon. But I'm gonna be backing the boys anyway, MK. So up the franchise, come on.
Perfect. Appreciate it, mate. Thanks for joining me, and good luck for the game.
Yeah, you too, mate. Good to speak to you
soon.
Cheers, mate. See you soon.
Oh my word, it's funny. Play up, Pompey, play up. Right. 4-0 written all over it. We're back again. Hopefully you're all enjoying his stream. Now, Portsmouth are away today against MK Dons. It's a huge game. I've got a trim. Everyone's buzzing. Normality is returning. But we're focused on Portsmouth today, all right? I think you've pretty much cemented your place in the playoffs. But I do think you need to keep winning games. Just to be safe. MK Dons aren't a bad side. But I do think you're going to get back to winning ways today. I'm going to go, sorry about the cars, I'm going to go MK Dons 1, Portsmouth 3. You're going to win today. Up the Pompey, up the Ipswich. Everyone enjoy the stream.
There we go. That was a certain Mr. Alex Griffin who mentioned actually there, Gaz, that, we want to get back to winning ways. He thought we're going to, and also I was interested to see that he said that a playoff spot is cemented. But it's not, is it?
No, it's not. No, not when you look at the table. And there's some key games today as well, isn't there? You've got Charlton playing Ipswich, so there's and then you've got Blackpool, Sunderland. So there's like that tight teams at the top, So there's some results that could go our way, but again, we just got to concentrate on ourselves. MK aren't going to be a walkover. It's interesting, listening to the MK fan there. The goalkeeper hasn't had the best. So basically we can take advantage of that, but we've got to learn from draw against Crewe, and obviously at the moment we're unbeaten away under the Cowleys, so that's not too bad.
Yeah, no, and we're unbeaten away, and also I think we're unbeaten in 3 away from home in quick succession as well. So it's been a sort of, well, we look back, I suppose it's unbeaten away, but that Wigan one was a little bit suspect, wasn't it? Especially first half, and then we had too much for them in the second.
That was literally we'll take a 1-0 at this stage of the season, even today.
Yeah, and it's all about just those points on the board, isn't it? Because as we just said, the playoff spot is not guaranteed. I think we're all sort of, I know we sort of conceded in the week that maybe Autos is slightly sort of, nothing wrong with pipe dreaming. It's going to take a disaster, isn't it, for all things to sort of, the wheels to fall off for Peterborough or Holland. We know that Borough won last night against Northampton. Having letting them back into it, by the way, it was a 1-1, and then they went on and sort of grounded the win out. Back to today, though, Gaz, MK Dons will look to avoid going 4 league games without scoring a single goal for the first time since October 2019. Do you think we'll have too much for them today?
I think if we shore up the back and don't make silly mistakes, the midfield's going to be key today. This hasn't been the easy run-in that we thought it was going to be. Everyone was like, the Cowleys are coming and this run-in is going to be, a dead cert. We're going to win, 10 games. It hasn't worked out like that, has it? So we can't take nothing for granted. It is literally a game at a time, but it has to be played at that cup final tempo,
Yeah.
Because we're so close, just like other teams. So the midfield today have really got to work hard. Close is going to be a bit of a miss, but White coming in again, like Mike said earlier on, if we can get free kicks and he can get that ball in, it's another option for us. So we've just got to stop playing the long ball, play back on the feet. That first couple of games where we played really nice football, then we sort of dropped a little bit back into how we used to play before. So I'm hoping we can go back to high press, ticky-tacky football, and go for there.
Logan said, good morning from Florida. It's 8 minutes past 7 and he's absolutely exhausted. He's hoping we can get more shots on goal. Too many are going wide of the post. I think it's a bit of a key, isn't it, Gaz? Because we were sort of reliant on a Marquis penalty being converted on Tuesday night, and obviously wasn't to be. But those shots on goal, there were quite a few, and myself and Andrew mentioned it on Tuesday that they ended up in the train tracks on the other side of the stadium, didn't they? And obviously it's going to end up in the gods at Stadium MK today if the same's repeated. How important is shots on goal? Because at the end of the day, goals win games, don't they? As we all know.
Absolutely, yeah. Like I say, if you don't score goals, you don't win games. So at least if you're having a go and you're putting like I say, that MK guy said, the goalkeeper's not having the best of games. So maybe we can take advantage of that. They got Will Grigg today. He's only played 6, scored 3 goals. So he's not, he's 50%. A bit like Marquis. He's 50% as well. Do you know what I mean? So, he was knocking him with a Doncaster, but he just hasn't, these last sort of 2 years, he hasn't quite done it for Pompey, So, he has got a big point to prove. He came with quite a reputation, Marquis. And, it's bits and pieces, So, maybe today, if he can get the service, we got the, 4 at the back, 6 up front. So there's no reason why we can't go on and win today. They've just got to gel.
Absolutely. Thank you for the moment, Gaz. Stay right there. We'll bring Richard into the conversation, who joins us. A very good morning to you, sir. Thank you for being with us. How are you?
All right, mate. Yeah, recovered from last night, so that's good.
How was it?
Fresh as a daisy. Yeah. Well, it was Owen's leaving party, so it was good. It was good. Not good. Nice.
Good stuff, mate. Good stuff. Well, thanks for being with us. How do you see this one today? Obviously, Stadium MK. It's only the 4th time we've played there in their history. Obviously, they're still in their infancy as a football club, but it should be a return to winning ways, hopefully, for Pompey today.
It should be, but I say it was meant to be winning ways when we were there last year, wasn't it? When was it 5,000 of us went, and a very disappointing show on the park. But I'm hoping this week, it'll be good. To say it's a massive upset, isn't it? With Close being injured, they're saying it's a groin strain, so that could be a good couple of weeks, and if we do get into the playoffs, he's a potential player, isn't he, to do work wonders there. I'm happy Curtis is now back on the left, playing 3 with Marquis up front. he certainly needs to find his shooting boots, doesn't he, Marquis? Has he had another a third injection or something, to get him to play today? Because from the highlights I saw from Tuesday, he looked very uncomfortable, and I think you commented on on our chat, didn't you? Or Brendan didn't, with regards to, he doesn't jump very high for the ball, lost almost every header that he could have got, and it's going to be a test, they leak goals, don't they? But then again, they can be a strong team. They got 5 in the midfield, didn't they? So that that's going to be pretty much blocked out. But if we play, the possession football, which was 70%, wasn't it, or something thereabouts on Tuesday, we need to act on that, don't we? We need the fast ball. It's like Danny mentions, that fast attacking football. He doesn't want to just go slowly from the back, because the teams know that now. They know. On the podcast on Thursday, they were saying like Raggett, when he gets the ball, he'll pass it sideways. You can see it in him. He doesn't want to launch the ball forward. I'm not sure if it's been mentioned earlier on the stream, but I think he's coming good. I think it's given him that confidence, isn't it, to play with the ball at his feet. He just needs to look at, get the right pass. I think with Curtis and that on the side, on the left, Williams and Harness, we've got the pace now, haven't we? Up front. So we should be good.
Absolutely. Thank you for the moment, Richard. Gaz, just to touch on what Chris is saying here, excited for today. He said, I think we can dominate this MK team. Concerned regarding our left-hand side defensively, Harvey White and Daniels, not much pace and a possible lack of understanding. What I would also throw in there to add to what Chris is saying there, Gaz, is on their right-hand side, attacking that left-hand side for Pompey, they have a man called Scott Fraser, who scored 11 goals and assisted 4 times this season. On the other side of the pitch, David Kazumu hasn't scored yet this season, has only provided 1 assist. So that is definitely a place where MK Dons can penetrate. Does the sort of the matchup concern you between Harvey White and Daniels? Or do you think they've played enough games together this season that we might be all right today?
I think, Daniels is very experienced. He's played, a very high level of football, and White's been at Tottenham. So, he's been introduced. It's not like it's a one-off, just thrown in the deep end. He's been nurtured along Harvey White and Daniels as well. So, I'm just looking forward to, just seeing how we're going to match up in that midfield. It's going to be a battle. We just need to make sure that, we win that battle. So...
Yeah, absolutely. Richard said from one Rich to another, watch how often Marquis comes into his own half to get involved, and he needs to be in the box ready to take chances. Richard, we've given Marquis quite a bit of a slating in the first hour on the stream here, obviously because he missed the penalty on Tuesday night, which lies solely to blame with him. And we were mentioning in the chat earlier on in the week that I think it was you, Gaz, that said he even looks uncomfortable at the still image that was taken of him while he was taking it. It looked like he was in pain, didn't he? So what does Marquis have a point to prove today, Richard, for you? And how can he apply himself in order to put right the wrongs on Tuesday?
Well, he's got a lot of to prove, isn't he? I say when he came back into the team, prior to being sent off, in the Shrewsbury match, everybody thought that 3-match rest that he'd had, he would have come back on form. I say he looked very jaded. He was jaded, he hasn't done much, prior to him being sent off, was in before the Shrewsbury game as well. Is he the right person? He's been here for 2 years. Is it time? You can see there's obviously the academy players now starting to get cleared out. Is it something that, that we start, we look for next season, for a different number 9, is it a case that, it's time for him, he hasn't proved it, for the 2 years that he's been here, that it's time to sort of look elsewhere, and I think if the Cowleys are going to be here next year, if they are to be here next year, it's something that maybe they're thinking about, but we've got strength, haven't we? I say when Wahula comes back, I say I'm not too keen on Harrison. I think he's a 50-50 play. I say he's good at holding the ball up, but he's. I think they just need a run, don't they? A good run in the team, get the goals, because that's what it is. The only way you're going to get goals is if you get confidence, and you need confidence from the people playing behind you, actually giving you the supply that you need. So it's you look at what was it? With Sunderland, the Sunderland players, Charlie White, is it? He banging the goals in for fun now, predominantly all by got them by the head, but they're going in, and it's because he's got the supply going to him now, isn't he? And that's what we need. If we can't get it to balls to feet, then he's never going to score a goal, and he's just going to end up frustrated, like with Curtis when Curtis was up front. All good a player that he is, but it's just the fact that they become frustrated, the confidence starts dropping, and then that just affects them and also everybody else in the team.
Good afternoon to Smithy Boy. Welcome along to the stream. And Richard's absolutely right there, Gaz, isn't he? When he says that when you're in a shooting and a scoring position, and when the bit behind you is working well, they end up just flying in anywhere, don't they? It will come off the back of Marquis's head if he's got that confidence, and Curtis will start scoring worldies, perhaps, if it all is working behind us. And actually, Danny Cowley's comments during the week on Thursday, he said we have an exciting front four, and the team are working hard on the quicker ball higher up the pitch. What are your thoughts on the fact that Pompey sort of sit back a little bit? And obviously Ben Close isn't playing today, and I wonder how Harvey White will fit into this. But that operating in a deeper role under Danny Cowley that we've seen Ben Close in the last couple of weeks, Gaz, and how do you see Pompey's attacking threat right now?
I mean, the squad that we're putting out there, first team, is it's capable of winning matches. My concern at the moment is a little bit on the bench. When you look at the bench, it's like, who is actually going to come on when we're in a bit of trouble? Because it's like we've got Andy Cannon, obviously can come on. He can be super sub. He can come on. But for me at the moment, we're stretched at the moment, and it's the tail end of the season. So it has been a tough season, but there's nothing stopping us with this first 11. But that's what they've got to do. They've got to go out and play that first half. Like these last games, we played different 45 minutes in every single game. So if we can gel, we can't afford to go down. That's the thing. We can't afford to concede first, because when you're looking at that bench, who's going to come on and literally, take control of the game. You got Byers, but you got Cannon. And even Alfie Stanley, he can come on and do a job if Marquis is struggling, which wouldn't be a bad shout. Because like I say, some of the academy players are being cleared out. And he could have a massive impact this tail end of the season.
Does the bench concern you, Rich?
It does a little bit, but I think we've got it there, though. I think there's players out and they're chomping at the bit, wanting to play. We look at every single week, Rasmussen, on the bench. Why doesn't he give him the chance, to play? And I think with White coming in, I think it's good, because you've got the old head of Daniels, obviously can, guide him along. He's got a good player with Naylor at the side of him. If they talk to him, then obviously that, he'll come good. We know what he can do. And I say, we've got that on the bench as well, with regards to, people coming in. But it's, where do we go thereafter? If we were to pick up another couple of injuries, then bench players then become first 11, and then all of a sudden we're struggling then to, to fill them seats. And, if we finish sixth and Sunderland finish, was it third? Is that what we end up playing them in the playoffs?
Yeah, third, sixth, and fourth and fifth.
That's the massive, that's the crucial thing, isn't it? We need to be looking, to be that extra space ahead, so we don't face Sunderland, because I think, we'd pretty much come unstuck, I think. It's where if we caught them in the final, it might be a different story,
Yeah, because the finals, we've got a recent history with Sunderland at Wembley in finals, haven't we, Gaz? And also I know we're looking ahead to the playoffs now, and rightfully so. We've got just 9 minutes to go until kickoff today. This game and getting back to winning ways, it will provide an awful lot of happiness for Pompey fans, confidence for the players, for the prospect of the playoffs in the next couple of weeks. And it is just a case of getting back to those winning ways as soon as you possibly can, because we need all the momentum possible for that first and second leg, don't we?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we said it in the chat, didn't we? 4 years ago, we drew, and then basically we went on a run, and then we went, a great unbeaten run, and we won the league, 4 years ago. So that's the sort of form you need going into the playoffs, because as history's shown, if you're going into the playoffs in good form, 9 times out of 10 you're going to go up. You can't just scrape in the playoffs and then expect to turn up at Wembley and then be promoted. So we need this momentum now. We've had a great start of the Cowleys. We've had a little bit of a blip, a draw and a loss, but we've still got enough little games to go, but we've got to confirm. We've got to make sure we score a goal today. I mean, a draw's no good. So
and we look at sorry guys, you mentioned with the easy running. How many games ago was it now when we said that after this game that's it, we've got an easy running. Well, we looked at Doncaster in the pivotal game. We've looked at Charlton. Well, that was a pivotal game. We won that, but it's of every single game is it's do or die, isn't it? We're slipping back down the table. And that's it. If we were to end up 7th or 8th, I'm not sure if the teams below us won. I've had a chance to look where we'd
the win today would drop us out.
Yeah, and that's it. I mentioned, was it 3 weeks ago, about Oxford being the grey team, slowly just chipping away. No one's looking at them, and then all of a sudden, bang, right on the edge of the playoffs. And Blackpool. And suddenly, they've clawed through. Charlton, they've got a game in hand. People say, well, they've got to win the game in hand, but they've got that opportunity, haven't they? New match, and it's just a case of they're going from strength to strength. And financially, now obviously if they've got money there now, it's great. But we slip up too many times. But I say a good win today will boost everybody, won't it? Ahead of the next few games.
But having said that, Richard, I just had a quick look, and Oxford will play Gillingham at 5:30, which is by no means a walkover for Oxford, because we all know the results that Gillingham have picked up over the last couple of weeks. On the flip side of what Richard's saying there, Gaz, I mean, it's sort of, looking at it glass half full rather than half empty. But Pompey, today could be sort of back into 4th place and chasing Sunderland again. So it'd almost be like a cyclical structure, really, in terms of where we were a couple of weeks ago before, not the wheels started to fall off, but before results started going a little bit against us, perhaps.
Yeah, and the thing is, though, we're still in a chance. Mathematically, as long as it can be done, we've got something to play for. It's not like say you were speaking to MK Dons. They're happy staying up. We've got something to go for. And it's going to be a case of, not relying on other results. They will help, obviously, but we need to concentrate literally on our Pompey bubble. We need to score. We need to go. We need to compete. A draw is no good today because, we've only got a few games left, and it's going to be emotional.
What's the score going to be today, Gaz?
I'm going to take a 2-1 today.
Uncle Rich, how do you feel?
3-0 Pompey.
There we go. That's what we like to hear.
With a hat trick.
Thanks, Jen. Speak to you half time.
Legend.
Catch you later.
This is our upcoming fixtures that we were just chatting about with Gaz and Rich there. We said a couple of weeks ago it's looking like an easy run-in, didn't we? But all of a sudden, and as we were just discussing, they're becoming do-or-die games. It's MK Dons up in just under 5 minutes' time. Our final guest of the stream has joined us from a very luxurious setting this morning. He's been enjoying himself out in the sunshine. We'll just take a look there. Swindon, Bristol Rovers, a game away in Lancashire against Accrington Stanley, a London fixture in the shape of Wimbledon, and then the final day on the Super Sunday that is the Accrington Stanley return fixture. Good afternoon, sir. Welcome along.
Afternoon, mate. How are we?
I like the trim. Thanks for joining us. Right, big game today, really big game today, and it's going to have to be a little bit brief because we're almost there in terms of kickoff now from a beautiful sunny Stadium MK. How do you see this one going today?
I just hope we can get 3 points. I don't care how we do it. It's just got to be 3 points, like the boys are saying. Gaz is saying we're running out of time. Couple of bad results. Let's put them behind us. If we can get 3 points today, we're well back in it. And it just solidifies, I think, that playoff now. I'm off that fence now that Andrew was luring me over with the autos carrot, and I'm well and truly thinking playoffs is where we're going to be. Hopefully at the end of the season, and obviously we've just got to get some points back on the board now to secure that.
Yeah, absolutely, and it is such a sort of do or die one today, isn't it? And I mean, you've got an awful lot of experience in that MK Don side. Dean Lewington's 36. They've got a man called Andrew Sermley plays with me. He's 34.
Yeah.
Scott Fraser scored 11 goals this season. Obviously, Will Grigg up top. So it's not by any means going to be a walkover today, is it?
No, by no means. And I think the biggest worry, I was looking at a few, I think it was Don's fans were saying that their right winger or right back, one of the two is pretty speedy, and Charlie Daniels is not. So that could be somewhere where we get a bit exploited today. I don't know, maybe I'm imagining the Cowleys have probably thought about that. You'd like to think, and there must be, a bit of cover, maybe. Let's just say that. But yeah, I'm hoping that the boys come out today. We like the other guys say, we've got something to play for. They haven't. It's very much the ball's in our park, and it has been, in this running. And as we've all said, those 10 games you'd pick 10 wins, but because they're all in a row, it doesn't work out like that. And here we are. Let's bounce back, and then let's hopefully go. What is it? 6, 7 left.
Be 5 after today.
5 left after today.
Right.
So 6 left. 18 points. Let's hopefully, 15 would be fantastic. But we do it the Pompey way, which is always the hard way.
Absolutely. What's your score prediction for today, Alex?
I'm thinking 2-1. We don't usually, it seems, keep a clean sheet at the MK Stadium. We were all there, I think, in the 6K to MK, which was a great day, but it was a terrible day until we equalised.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think we can pick up three big ones today. What are you thinking, your side?
Yeah, we'll go for 3 big ones. I won't go for a 4-0 because we were sat here. We've been chatting for an hour and a quarter now ahead of kickoff, and everyone's been saying it is just a win that's needed. Now we're going to have a look at the next graphic in a minute, but the form now looks a little bit more shaky, whereas a couple of weeks ago you were looking at all the greens on the thing. You think all things are looking really up, but these as you said, these last 10 games have really brought us back down to earth. And one of those 10 games was the game on Tuesday. And I'll ask you very quickly before we get going, because the team's just come out, but how much of a point has Marquis got to prove today after missing a penalty? And what was not a brilliant performance from him?
Yeah, massive point. And it's funny because of obviously that 100 goal mark that he's obviously over, and you think, how is that the case? And I think if he was actually, a Championship or a Premier League striker, he'd have had 200 with the chances he's had. But yeah, that's another day. He scores goals. Let's hope he scores today, and let's hope we get 3 points, and that's enough.
Perfect, mate. Speak to you soon.
Yeah, speak to you soon, mate. Bye.
Here we go then. This is the form table that myself and Alex were just talking about there. And obviously you've got a couple of greens at the bottom there for Pompey, but last 2 results have been neither here nor there, have they? It's but on the flip side, MK Dons having gone 4 games on the trot with wins, those last 2 of those 4 on the screen there, they've only picked up 1 point in their last 3 games, which is not good from their point of view. There's only ever been 7 meetings between the 2 sides. Kickoff for this one is coming up very, very shortly. Before we do so, we all know that it's the funeral of His Royal Highness Prince Philip today. This afternoon, it kicks off from 3 o'clock and obviously a little bit before. The players, staff and referees and assistants are just gathering now for the 2-minute silence, which we'll be observing once again here on Fournilwrittenalloverit in memory of Prince Philip. I'd like to invite you to join us here on Fournilwrittenalloverit alongside the players and staff from both sets of clubs this afternoon at Fratton Park for a period of reflection on the life of His Royal Highness Prince Philip, who passed away yesterday morning at the age of 99. He was born on the Greek island of Corfu on the 10th of June 1921 and married Princess Elizabeth in 1947, 5 years before she unexpectedly became Queen in 1952, after the sudden passing of her father, George VI. As many Pompey fans will know, the Duke of Edinburgh was an extremely decorated serviceman. He held the rank of Lord High Admiral of the United Kingdom as the ceremonial head of the Royal Navy and was one of only 9 English great officers of state. The Queen held the title for 47 years prior to Prince Philip before conferring the office upon her husband in 2011 as part of the celebrations for his 90th birthday. What a wonderfully observed minute's silence for His Royal Highness Prince Philip, whose funeral will take place later on this afternoon. We're almost ready to go here at Stadium MK. Really looking forward to bringing you this one live here on Fournilwrittenalloverit. Thank you to everyone who joins us live across the country. Kickoff at MK is now moments away. We're bringing you every second of the action. Andrew will be joining me very shortly. Pompey will have kickoff. It will be Ryan Williams is the man that will get things going this afternoon. It's a bright, beautiful, sunny day. We're looking forward to this one. The referee is just checking with both the goalkeepers and things will get off and underway. We're really looking forward to bringing you this one. I know I keep saying it, but it just expresses my excitement even more. Anthony said, well done from all the 4-0 family. Thank you very much indeed, Anthony. And things are now off and underway. Tom Naylor with the ball to Sean Raggett, who's under an early little bit of pressure, fires one out to the
left-hand side, and already Pompey are just slightly off the pace there in the opening 10 seconds, and MK Dons will capitalise on this possession. This is Matthew Sorinola now, who's lost out to Marcus Harnish, who forces him back to his left-back, Zach Jules. Portsmouth the best is predicting a 1-0 Pompey. Thank you very much for that. Want to come and see Fratton games so bad. So do we, Chris. We're desperate to get back there. Hopefully May the 17th, I would have thought, will be a date that fans will be allowed back into stadiums. And let us know how you're feeling. If you haven't yet already, put your score prediction down in the comments section down below with 45 seconds on the clock. Craig McGilvery's taking his first swipe at the ball up the pitch towards John Marcus, who will look to win the header, and he does so on the edge of the box. And it's Dean Lewington who's just using his experience against what is an experienced striker in this division, and this area of English football that we're watching at the moment, as Sean Raggett has tried to prevent that one from going out of play, but it has done nonetheless, and that will be an MK Dons throw in on that far side. Excuse me, in the sunshine, and we're just excited to bring this one to you. It's games coming thick and fast, and after this one, just 5 of the normal season left to go. We were discussing playoffs at length with the boys who joined us before the stream. Dean Lewington now. Who would be your team to play in the playoffs, boys and girls? Let me know down in the live chat down below. Andy Fisher fires one up the pitch. He let 4 in on Tuesday night against Lincoln City. Let's hope he lets another 4 in against Pompey this afternoon. Sean Raggett with a defensive pass back to Craig McGilvery, who will once again thump it up Stadium MK and look to find Marcus Harnish, who's second to the header. Jack Whitmore's first to that ball, however. Callum Johnson now fires one over the top. And that one will go out of play, and that will be an MK Dons throwing on this near side. Graham Stone is predicting on 1-0. Pompey will take that, Graham, every day of the week. Traditional Signs of London reckons a convincing performance will do. Well, let's wait and see, and hopefully we get just that. MK Dons now on the ball just over halfway. Harness has done well to cleverly nick that one back off him. Here comes the first proper Pompey attack. Ryan Williams is a threat down the right-hand side. Plays in Harness, who just recently given the ball to him. Tries to get a ball across the bows of the MK Dons territory there. And he's lost out to Zach Jules, the 24-year-old gets things going, from an MK Dons point of view. This is David Kazumu, who's managed to protect the corner from going out, protect the ball from going out for a corner for Pompey, and it will be an Andy Fisher goal kick, the first one of the game. Marcus hat-trick as an apology, says Jordan on Facebook, for his penalty miss the other night. A grumpy old git has said fantastic stadium at MK, hoping for a Cowley special 2-1 win, play up Pompey. And we do love a 2-1 win, don't we, here at Pompey in recent weeks and months. High press is evident here from the boys playing in orange today, as MK Dons are looking to break those barriers that Pompey are setting up for them. And here they go down the left-hand side. And it's the number 10, Scott Fraser, who scored 11 goals already for Milton Keynes already this season. He's lost out to Callum Johnson, who will take the Pompey throw-in. Jack Whitmore there with not an awful lot of space to get his ball up the pitch. He finds John Marcus, who wins the header on. Ryan Williams is the man chasing down Harry Darling, who's 21 years old, and plays it back to the 23-year-old goalkeeper Andy Fisher, then gets it back to Darling. Ryan Williams is the man furthest up the pitch and sees off the ball back to the goalkeeper. 3 and a bit minutes has been played at Stadium MK. Nothing either way for either team, and nothing in terms of goals in League One at all so far this afternoon, with the games just sort of 4 or 5 minutes old at this moment in time. Header on from Harness, looking to find Johnny Marquis now, who's the furthest man up the pitch for Pompey and is chasing the ball all the way back to the MK Dons keeper, Andy Fisher, who drives one out to the right-hand side, and a header on, who will be met by Sean Raggett now. And an awful lot to speak for Harvey White in the centre of midfielders. Ronan Curtis enjoys his first few touches on the ball now. Claims from Dean Lewington that one went out of play. Ronan Curtis goes down, a little bit of discomfort there from Lewington. And it's going to be the referee trotting over to make sure that he's all right there, Ronan Curtis. I'm sure he will. Oh, no, he's not. He's going to mean that the medical team are going to have to make the trip all the way over to that far side on the big, open, wide, expansive pitch at Stadium MK. We're just checking what happened there to Ronan Curtis, because he was being stood up there initially by, I think it's Zach Jules. And then he sort of got it down on his chest. Claims from Dean Lewington, and there's a bit of a sort of shove on him. I think he sort of caught his rib cage there, Ronan Curtis. So hopefully he's going to be all right to continue. It's the Pompey medical team that have now got their way over to him. And they will be receiving a little bit of treatment and hopefully he'll be okay to continue. Good afternoon to Amy, who joins us live on the show. Welcome along. Good afternoon to you. Just made it back in time. We do need a win today. Absolutely, Amy, we do. Be great if you could stick with us all afternoon as we provide you commentary. And someone else who's going to come and provide us commentary is Andrew in just a moment, who has just entered the 4-0 studio. He'll be joining us in just a few moments. 5 minutes this game is now, and the referee's just standing over as Ronan Curtis receives a little bit of treatment. Not very many games left to go now here with us for Pompey and here on Fournilwrittenalloverit. It could potentially be a further 2, maybe even a further 3 games on from this in terms of the playoff. Ronan Curtis is up on his knees, and it looks like he's going to be okay to continue. In the next couple of weeks, we will make the trip to the new Plough Lane to play AFC Wimbledon. There's also 2 games against Accrington Stanley to look forward to here on Fournilwrittenalloverit. We'll bring you every second of the action live with us. It'd be great if you could join us for that. Charles has said a good afternoon, a must win today. It is indeed, Charles. Thank you for joining us live here on Fournilwrittenalloverit. It is great to have you with us. Ronan Curtis has made his way off the pitch now. Hopefully he'll be okay to come back on. It will be a throw-in for MK Dons on that far side. 6 and a bit minutes has been played now. And the ball is back in play now, and MK Dons play it across their defensive lines, and Pompey just having to readjust to the 3 men in white shirts coming forward. Eventually it's a long ball played up to the edge of Craig McGilvery's box, and he will do well to claim that one nice and easily. He's got Callum Johnson and Jack Whatmough on his right-hand side, or perhaps look to Sean Raggett maybe, or even further up the pitch than that. It's a long, big pitch at Stadium MK, and it feels even bigger as the big old stadium bowl shape that it is housed in. Is Ronan Curtis looking to get his own back on the MK Dons right-hand side players who put him out of contention for a little while there, but he's been okay to carry on. And this is Milton Keynes now making their way down this left-hand side. Matt Sorinola now. 20-year-old opts to find his colleague Zach Jules, who's playing the left-back position. It's a knock-on through the centre of the Pompey midfield, and eventually we'll get things going again. And Ryan Williams using his pace to get the ball up the pitch, and it's a pass that wasn't picked out quite right there, and it's going to make its way back into Pompey territory with Harvey White now. MK Dons have it back in their possession. Dean Lewington, the 36-year-old, gets things going for the home side. It's a ball played through the centre of the Pompey attacking half, and Andrew Sermon, the experienced Football League midfielder. This is, I believe, Ethan Laird on that right-hand side. The 19-year-old looks to get a ball in, but Pompey will have something to say about that one. And Marquis is the furthest man up the pitch now. 8 minutes on the clock. And here come MK Dons again. This is Zach Jules. Andrew coming to join us in just a moment. Ball over the top, and hopefully Callum Johnson will be able to win that one. And it's still Zach Jules who has it on this near side. Back to the number 8, Davin Ganzumu, and you are not dreaming. That is really an Andrew who's joined us here live on Fournilwrittenalloverit. Good afternoon, sir. Welcome. How are you?
Yeah, well, good. Thank you very much. Looking forward to this one. Tom, apologies for being late, mate.
That's all right.
I was at work this morning, and just literally the traffic is a nightmare out there.
Did you go back the wrong way?
No,
the busy way.
I went the right way, but it seems like the sun's out and everyone's out, aren't they? So
Absolutely. Well, thank you for being with us nonetheless. The game is only 8 minutes old, and I can tell you haven't missed an awful lot, to be honest. It's not been the most exciting start to a game. We're playing in orange once again, and as I say that, Ryan Williams with an opportunity over halfway now. This is Ronan Curtis. 9 minutes on the clock. Shot goes in, and it's straight at the keeper, Andy Fisher, who let 4 in on Tuesday night against Lincoln. First shot on target for Pompey, and it came through Ronan Curtis, and all the way from the back, actually, Andrew, that chance.
looks like a big pitch, Tom.
It is a big old pitch. We've been there many a time, haven't we?
Yeah, it's normally as empty as that in there.
Yeah, it is, yeah. I was about to say, it doesn't look...
A good strike from Ronan, but straight at the keeper, unfortunately.
Unfortunately so. It was a dangerous-looking attack, though, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's quick. If he puts it in the corner, it's in, I think.
What do you make of this one's at the moment, Andrew? How do you see it from a Pompey point of view? It's a must-win, is what we've been saying.
Oh, the next 6 are must-wins, Tom, aren't they? Regardless, I think if must-wins, depending on other results, of course. But I think this is a must-win, yeah, for sure. But most of them are, aren't they? It's not going to be easy, is it, for us in running? What have MK Dons got on the table? Have they got anything?
Mid-table, nothing to play for. They're safe, but with no playoff hopes.
Yeah, that's good break.
Marquis now, ball over the top. It's a diagonal ball. He's going to look to go it himself.
What did he do there?
I don't know what he did there. We were speaking, actually, the amount of times we mentioned on Tuesday night how those balls in would have ended up on the train tracks on the other side of the crew pitch.
that one's ended up in the gods in at least the second tier of. Oh, actually, I think the whistle might have gone, Andrew. That might have been
offside.
To be no, he's looking up in the air, so I don't think it was.
Why does it mean? What do you mean the whistle might have gone?
Because there's a bit of treatment happening on this, so I don't know if the referee blew up while we wouldn't have blown up while we were on the attack, would he? But just describe that one to us, Andrew. Right up into the gods at Stadium MK.
I don't know who put the ball through from midfield. Was it Jack Whatmore? It was a beautiful cross ball to Marcus. I don't know what he's doing out there, to be honest. He was out too far right for me. I don't know why he's out there, but he was anyway, and he collected it, and then he just, I don't know, he's having a bit of a nightmare at the minute. He owes us one, I think, Johnny Marcus, at the minute, and he's got a score today. I think he's got a score, Tom, because he's not been prolific, and then, or certainly in the last 3 games, he hasn't been on the pitch. But prior, the game on Tuesday night was pretty shocking from his standards, wasn't it?
We were discussing how much of a point he has to prove today.
Yeah.
Against a team that are a little bit sort of.
Yeah, the problem was playing a team that a little bit nothing to play for, Tom, and nothing to win, nothing
True.
to lose.
However,
they still could get into the playoffs, though, couldn't they?
No, they can't. Not possible, unfortunately.
Right, but therefore they're relaxed about playing the game, aren't they? So they're just going to be
16th place at the minute.
No pressure on them.
No pressure.
Can they go down as well?
No, they're safe and they can't make the playoffs. So it will be League One football that they play next season. They're on the attack here though, MK Dons, and it's a shot from distance, and it's, oh my word, it's hit the crossbar. It's crikey, it's a shot and another one, and that one just tips over the top 2. My word, bit of an early scare from the home side.
Good shot.
It's a decent strike, and I'm just trying to work out who that is that got the shot away.
It was nicely laid off for him.
It was really nicely laid off it was Andrew Sermon who laid it off. I think it's Matthew O'Reilly that got the shot away. Dangerous.
Yeah.
Dangerous early doors. Definitely the early doors opportunity from MK Dons. That's the biggest chance of the game, at least so far in the opening 12 and a bit minutes or so. And it sort of hit the area between the crossbar and the post. It was right on that tippity top corner, wasn't it? So it could have gone top bins if it had been slightly a little bit less on the bend, perhaps, on the shot. Ronan Curtis is the only man who's managed to record a shot on target for Pompey so far this afternoon.
How many MK had?
That was the first opportunity for them as well. So it's a shot on target apiece. Andrew, you are my ears. You are my eyes, sorry, says Meadsy this afternoon as he's working today. It's Matt O'Reilly yes, it is. Matt O'Reilly.
It's not a good time to work, is it, when Pompey are playing football, Meadsy? I've come home from work to watch it, mate.
You have. But then you are your own manager, aren't you? So you get to make that decision.
I'm not a manager, mate.
Your own director then.
Yes, I do a bit of directing, Tom.
13 and a half minutes. You're not the director on here. All hell would break loose if you were. This is Callum Johnson now, who finds Curtis, no, that's not Curtis, sorry. Is that Curtis? No, it's not. It's Tom Naylor, Pompey captain. How did I get those two mixed up?
They both fall over a lot, Tom.
They do. Rochdale and Accrington have both scored once. It's a goal apiece in the opening 15 minutes or so at the Crown Oil Arena this afternoon. They're the only
most
two
teams playing at the same time today, are they?
Yeah, there's a couple of 5:30 kickoffs, which includes the Oxford game, who they're playing Gillingham this afternoon, and that's
a tough game. It's
interesting from a Pompey point of view because if we fail to beat MK Dons, then Oxford could actually leapfrog us and poke us down into 7th place. Absolutely. So it's a bit rather poignant today, but it's action stations for Pompey, isn't it?
Yes, it is action stations, to coin a phrase, Tom.
It is. Dean Lewington now, he's tried to find a ball through to his attacking players, and Will Grigg, who's a name you'll recognise, Andrew, not quite been on fire in the games he's played for MK Dons, albeit only 6 or 7 of them. The Northern Irishman scored 3 goals and assisted on 3 different occasions. Obviously played for Sunderland and had success at Wigan Athletic as well, where the song was coined. Matt Sorinola, and it's a header wide. That will be a header off target that goes down for MK Dons, and a game so far that we haven't seen. The only decent opportunity was a sort of a hit on the bar or the crossbar, but there, Andrew, Sean Raggett got his head to it,
And you would have hoped that it'd be more conclusive on that, wouldn't you?
Not with Raggett heading it, mate. No, there's never anything conclusive with Raggett, is there? Let's face it.
No, I think it's been a long time since he's been conclusive.
I think it's been a long, long time. If Mr. Meads is listening to this, it's a long, long time, isn't it, mate?
It's another header actually from O'Reilly, who's headed one wide from it. It was a Scott Fraser ball in from the left-hand side, and it remains 0-0 at Stadium MK, and nothing to tell you about really from a Pompey point of view, other than a shot on target that was straight at the goalkeeper Andrew Fisher from Ronan Curtis. First goal's gone in against the game between Shrewsbury Town and Doncaster. It's the Rovers who have got the goal at the new meadow there. They're all 1-0 up, and this is Callum Johnson, who's made up an awful lot of ground and played in Marcus Harness, who looks to put a ball in himself. A header goes up. Marquis, oh my word!
What a shot!
Over the head kick from Marquis, went for the spectacular and needed to, given the point that we all know he's got to prove since his pretty poor performance on Tuesday.
Just behind him, I think. The ball,
And
wasn't it?
yeah, no, it's a really decent connection on it. And again, Andy Fisher needed to get away to his left-hand side.
If he leaves that, Ronan Curtis is heading it in, isn't he?
He is, perhaps, yeah. He is. That was almost a stunner from Marquis. Lovely bit of play. Johnson to Harness to Marquis there, Andrew.
Yeah, great bit of football. Interestingly, Tom, I can't recall seeing Ronan Curtis score with his head, actually. Interesting one. He would have done there, though. Had Marcus left it, he would definitely have scored that goal if Marcus had left that for him. But he's a striker. He went for it. Was he to know that Marcus is right, that Ronan was right behind him? I don't know. Probably not. But probably not, because if he had been notified, he might have let that go for his colleague.
They're in. Dean Lewington plays to Scott Fraser.
Not a bad outfit, MK Dons.
Back to Lewington.
Play some nice football, don't they?
They do. Once again, it's Fraser, who scored 11 goals so far this season, the Scotsman.
We're all in our box, Tom.
It's back out to Andrew Sermon. Battling down the hatches from Pompey right now as the ball goes over the top and evades Callum Johnson as a header away from Raggett up to Harness. Williams will try and make sure, but he hasn't done so.
Raggett leaped like a salmon.
Matt Sorinola now. Ball goes in, and it's gone over the top of absolutely everybody. And that will be a Craig McGilvery goal
quite
kick.
decent, though, don't they? To be fair, a bit of Milton Keynes, they don't look too bad. Look all right, to be fair. I can't keep talking, mate. I've got
Nothing to talk about.
There's nothing going on. It's Craig McGilvery. He's about to take a goal kick, and he's taken a long time over it. Interesting to see where the players are standing.
I'll teach you something. When you run out of something to say, do a time check and say welcome. That's what I normally do. Right. Okay, right, 18 minutes on the clock. Welcome along to everyone who joins us live on Fournilwritten all over it. If you just, I was about to say, if you're just joining us, leave a like on the stream and subscribe. Do that still. However, something to tell you about is a bit of a dodgy challenge from Charlie Daniels. To be fair,
he went for the ball.
He went for the ball, and he perhaps maybe got. We're quite far away from our vantage point. It will be a yellow card for Charlie Daniels, but it's a decent opportunity. It's a foul on Ethan Laird.
It's interesting how left-footed players tackle with their left foot from the wrong angle sometimes, when you would have expected him to slide in with his right there. It probably wouldn't have given a foul.
Maybe not. I think because of the positioning as well, the referee thinks it's in not a goal scoring opportunity, but it's
was it just outside the box, Tom?
It's just outside the box. It's 20, 30 yards out, perhaps.
Yeah.
Referees made sure that the spray's out at least 10 yards from it, and that's 18 yards. So yeah, that will be 30 yards out. Be interested to see how this one goes from an MK Dons point of view.
30 is more like 24, isn't it?
Almost, and it's a layoff and a shot, and that's going to go into the Pompey wall. Jack Whatmough was still stagnant in his position, and rightfully so, because Harness now comes down the left-hand side for Pompey. Curtis was away as well, and that one's still in play, and Harness is completely on the wrong side of the pitch, but still goes in for the challenge nonetheless. Just going to do a bit of running repairs, and Lincoln have taken the lead against Bristol Rovers, Andrew.
That's not the best news we've had today.
Not the best news we've had today by any stretch of the imagination, is it? Oh, I don't know. We might have lost contact. No, we're okay. I think we're all right for the time being. Let me just quickly check. Tell us what happened there, Andrew.
It's just a replay of what happened earlier, Tom.
Oh, excellent.
They keep to be fair, Dons aren't a bad side, but they do keep falling over, which is a bit annoying.
How are we looking, ladies and gents? Let us know if the stream's clear enough for you. Hopefully it is. Oh, I don't think it is, actually. We are crackling a little bit for some people. I might just have a look and see if there's anything we can do to sort that out. Hopefully we will be okay. Brendan's told us that stream's all good. Thank you very much. Curtis scored ahead of last season versus MK Dons at Stadium MK, Andrew. So there you go.
Oh, well done, Brendan.
Put you in your place, as he normally does.
Has he scored any since, Brendan?
Perhaps not, but it's interesting to see that this mirrors. Hopefully he can score with his head today. That'd be good. Scott Fraser, number 10, coming forward now. This is Matt Sorinola.
They got a lot of the possession, Tom.
Back to David Kasumi. There's a very good reason for that, Andrew, and I will tell you. They are actually leading the way in terms of possession-based football under their new manager, Russell Martin, in all top 5 leagues around Europe. So the Premier League, Bundesliga, La Liga, Serie A, all of them.
So they hold the ball
Ligue
quite
1 as well.
They hang on to the ball quite well.
They do, and they've had 63% of the ball so far this afternoon. So hopefully, I mean, we've said it before, actually, from our point of view. You can have all the ball you want, can't you? But in the end, it's what you make of it. And that is a big goal to tell you about at the top end of League One. Fleetwood Town have gone 1-0 up at the KCOM against the Tigers. Hull City are a goal down to Fleetwood Town. It is Hull City 0, Fleetwood 1.
I don't see that lasting, Tom.
1 minute.
He's given a foul against Ronan there. Ronan's running with the ball. The guy's gone to tackle him, and the ref's given them a free kick.
I can tell by your voice that you're not particularly happy with it, Andrew.
It's just shocking, isn't it?
I'll come back to you in just a moment. I'm just going to refresh.
Why would you give a free kick to someone that's when we're moving forwards with the ball, and then they come in for a tackle, and then you give a free kick to them? How does that work?
Yeah, it looks a little bit
Ronan might
a bit suspect.
A bit high, I think, but other than that, I don't understand it.
Okay, we'll make of that what you will. We're now halfway through the first half here on Fournilwrittenalloverit.
Where's that going? It's a shot.
Good afternoon to you all, and oh my word, I thought that one was going to be a Wayne Rooney then.
Yeah, it was a good
or a David Beckham.
Who was it?
It was Marquis.
Left-footed.
Saw the keeper, left-footed. Andrew Fisher was well off his line.
God.
It's off target from Marquis, but
not much.
Not by a lot, no.
If that had been on his right foot, it might have gone in.
Perhaps it might have gone in.
But it's a great effort from the halfway line.
It's not a bad effort, is it, to be fair? Not a bad effort. And he saw the opportunity, Marquis, and the poacher striker like he is, it all sort of suggests that we might see a goal from him, as Matt has suggested today.
Yeah, I think we might. There's that tackle. Well, maybe it's a bit high from Ronan.
He doesn't. He feels it feels a bit like you did, Andrew, having watched it back, doesn't he? He wasn't very happy.
He's not happy about it.
Raggers let one go. That one go back to Craig McGilvery. It's actually quite a decent position because he was under a little bit of pressure there. Raggett. Harvey White's played it out to the left-hand side. There's too much on it for Ronan Curtis to claim, and that will be a Pompey throw-in. And MK Dons still have the tape over their seats since the last time that they allowed fans back into the stadium, as you can see there on the far side. To be honest, I think it's one of the few grounds in the division that wouldn't have needed social distancing because they all sit so far apart anyway.
Yeah, they could have allowed MK Dons to
they could have said, "Oh, everyone can come back." Yeah, they probably could have.
Yeah, because when they say everyone, no one goes back anyway.
Well, exactly.
But they could have had. You get 7,000 and 40-seater stadium. They are scattered around anyway, aren't they?
Well, would you like something like that at Fratton Park, planted right in the middle of where we are? Because we've definitely got the scope and the opportunity to do something like that, haven't we?
I would.
Perhaps not a massive bowl like they've got, but maybe a bit of a.
I really like their stadium. We've been there enough times.
Well, we managed to generate enough atmosphere, didn't we?
Yeah, we would do it at Fratton Park, wouldn't we? For sure. Yeah, I mean, Tom, at some point, I think we need to redevelop, don't we, and make it a nicer place to entertain people. But
that's maybe a couple of years away.
I think there's a few more than that, but hopefully in your lifetime.
25 minutes has been played. Not that old, son. Curtis. on the spin.
Come on, son.
That all depends on the success of the football club. Marquis, edge of the box, 18-yard strike. And again, it's another opportunity that goes a-begging for Marquis.
His left foot again.
It is his left foot, and it just, once again, trickles just far of the post.
Put me right if I'm wrong, Tom. He is a right-footed player, isn't he?
Not from what we've seen so far this afternoon, Andrew.
No, but he is normally, isn't he?
He is normally. It's a goal kick that's going to be taken by Andy Fisher. I'm a little bit concerned about the state of your stream. You're a bit up and down at the moment, but hopefully we can still hear you okay. It's just your visuals are a little bit poor.
Don't worry about that.
But that's all right.
I'm a radio-based presenter anyway.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
You got a face for radio, as it were. Nice.
I've got a face for radio.
You've got a face for radio. Well, we're live nonetheless here on Fournilwrittenalloverit for you. Thank you for being with us. Make sure you subscribe down below to the channel. If you haven't done so already, 5 shots for MK Dons, 3 for Pompey. You could argue that the ones that have produced the more of a goal-scoring threat have come through Johnny Marquis. It's all 5 of MK Dons shots have been off target. 2 of Pompey's have been on target. And so far this afternoon, Andrew, I would have said with our blue-tinted glasses on, Pompey perhaps slightly edging proceedings this afternoon.
I'd say slightly, Tom. They're edging the possession, but as we've often said, we've had lots of possession against teams and not done much with it. So we need to just score a couple, don't we? Settle our nerves a little bit.
Yeah.
The whole score
ball
is
goes.
Interesting. It won't last, but it's an interesting one at the present time. But it really doesn't matter. I think they're in the automatics, and they at least the whole. They've got to do something really strangely wrong, haven't they? The next 6 games to not finish in the top 2. So I think there's every opportunity for Fleetwood maybe just to win there without damaging their hopes at all. I think Hull's hopes, that is.
Yeah,
but it does help us a little bit. Their confidence is down a bit.
There is so much of a gap, isn't there, between the top 2, and obviously Sunderland are probably the one team that are chasing it, perhaps. But other than that, there's not an awful lot of scope for other teams to get in amongst it, is there?
Charlton, I think, are in there, aren't they, with a shout?
Not to automatics.
No, not with automatics. No, but
with the playoffs.
Yeah.
27 minutes has been played here at Stadium MK. It's a ball out, and Charlie Daniels has trotted over to pick one up off a cone. He's going to make the throw in to his nearest player at the moment is Ronan Curtis. He's telling him to go backwards. He's going to ignore the advice, and Harvey White is now showing for the ball. He's going to go back there, Harvey White, and eventually Charlie Daniels will make the decision to go backwards to Sean Raggett. Ball played over the top to absolutely nobody. Except for David Kazumu, who's in the middle of the box. He's yet to record a goal for MK Dons so far this season. He has provided 1 assist for them. Now Harness, clever play from Pompey. He watches it just trickle past him for the moment and then doubles back on his left foot. He's actually missed out there, Harness, who loses out on possession, but Harvey White will win it back nonetheless. It's actually going to be a free kick on this near side that the referee's blown up for MK Dons. It's a
I think Harness put him on a touchline.
I believe it's Matt Sorinola who's on the pitch, the 20-year-old, born in the year 2000, and the referee's just coming over just to explain why he made that decision. I think it was a push from Callum Johnson that put him over the touchline. Crisp high-def quality now for Andrew. There we go. Running repairs of work to treat.
I'm in HD now.
Yeah, there we go. That was the technical department that you've got to thank for that one.
Yeah.
So thank you, technical department. There's confirmation on our screen of the Hull City score. 29 minutes on the clock now. We're live across Fournilwrittenalloverit. A good afternoon to you all. Thank you for joining us.
Here we are, Tom.
Ryan Williams now working his way down the right-hand side. He's got up level with the byline and then puts a ball in, and Harvey White's going to try and, after a heavy touch, nick the ball back off MK Dons, and they'll look to capitalise. Ryan Williams is making way back to try and win it back. Twisting and turning from MK Dons for Matt Sorinola, who still retains the ball. On the spin is David Kazumu, who looks to play in, I believe that's Will Grigg. He's playing quite a backward-facing position. 18-yard box has been, oh my word, it's a flashing ball across, and the ball's still in play here, and MK Dons will just wait for that ball to settle, and the ball goes back in, and Jack Want was the nearest man to it. It's a header on from Marquis back into danger, and luckily Harness is there to provide the receipt for that. Back to Harness from Marquis, up towards Ryan Williams now.
He's done well, Williams.
He has done well, and Marquis will capitalise on this. Bit of possession for Pompey. Ronan Curtis has all sorts of space. Driver shot, and it's wide again.
Donkey. Why didn't he take a touch?
He had time there, Curtis.
Loads of time.
So much time.
He went for the spectacular.
He always does. Really well played from Ryan Williams, who held off an attacking
Look at
threat.
that ball from Marcus is
Why has he hit
sublime.
that?
I
He
don't
had
know.
so much
He's outside the 18
Andrew
yard line.
Sermon's miles away. As Andrew's just said, he's outside the 18-yard box.
Why didn't he take it into the box at least, and then it can get a shot?
Closes his angle down, doesn't he? Yeah.
And also if he takes another touch and gets inside the box, if that player comes across for him, he could get a penalty out of it, couldn't he? Worst case, get yourself inside the box as a striker, don't you?
We've said already so far that
There's 3 wasted chances there.
4.
Yeah, 4.
If you consider
This is not. We've got to finish it, Tom. We've got to put these balls.
we said before the game that it was really important that Pompey started well in this one and provide those finishes, which at the minute again end product has been a little bit of a problem for us really. I know this is a question directed to you from Anthony, but he's asked Andrew how many points you think we need from our last 6 games to confirm a playoff place. And I would just say to you, mate, that we need every point we can get, really, don't we? As much as we possibly can on the board. We'll discuss that in just a moment. Ronan Curtis working his way down the left-hand side into the 18-yard box. He gets a shot away again, and it's straight at the keeper. And he had options there once again, Curtis, and you'd argue less that he went for the shot on that occasion than the one before.
Yeah.
Another perhaps chance that goes amiss for Pompey.
He's got to stop trying to be a hero, Tom, and get himself on a score sheet, I think.
The good news is that plenty of opportunities have come our way, Andrew, and we look like the team to put them to the sword, don't we?
We look like we're going to win it, Tom, from this point at this present time. But we do need to. What worries me about strikers like Ronan, also Johnny Marcus, Johnny Marcus is not as greedy, but Ronan is exceptionally greedy with the ball. He likes to just be the hero when he doesn't need to be, you know.
Harvey White's lost out in the middle of midfield there. It's not going to mean too much for Pompey as MK Dons are happy to just sit back in a sort of half attacking sense, and eventually they'll try and work the ball out to the left hand side, and they do so. This is Matt Sorinola now. We've seen a lot of the ball in this first half. Callum Johnson's going to try and prevent the cross from going in. He's got options behind him. David Kazumu, back to Sorinola.
He's quite good, this Sorinola.
He's going to get his left-footed strike away, ball in, and Callum Johnson's going to have something to say about that one, and it will be an MK Dons throw-in. Matty agrees with you, saying he's not a team player and he's all self-glory.
Yeah.
Graham said we just need to get back to winning ways and see where that takes us. And I would completely agree with that one. Just get as many wins on the board as is humanly possible. Here is Scott Fraser now. Into the box to Will Grigg. Back to Fraser. Last-ditch challenge goes in from Tom Naylor, the Pompey captain. This is Sorinola now. Callum Johnson is there too. He's going to have to dispatch it in a moment, and Curtis has managed to let his man get away from him. And back to Sorinola. Tom Naylor's just hoarding him off, getting the ball in.
It's a good player,
quite a physical battle there between Naylor and Curtis. Ball is back with David Kazumu, and Harness managed to get the block in, and that will be an MK Dons throw-in. And it's almost a sense of battening down the hatches once again as MK Dons enjoys a spell of possession in an attacking sense for Pompey. Ronan Curtis is getting a little bit angrily and grappling at the back of the MK Dons defence, and Tom Naylor now will look to put a ball forward, and this is Ryan Williams. Ball goes up the top, and that's a free kick on that for Williams has conceded that one apparently. Referee saw it differently than I did initially, but nonetheless it will be a free kick on sort of halfway. Oh, I didn't see an awful lot in that, Andrew, did you? There was absolutely nothing in that.
He maybe blocked the player off, but he was running towards the ball as well, wasn't he? So I think it's a 50-50, and Rush should let that go, really.
Here come MK Dons again. Harness off his back. Marcus will look to chase down, and it goes out of play, and that one will be a Pompey throw-in on this near touchline. 10 minutes from the break. Callum Johnson picks it up quickly and looks to get things going. He does so. Finds Marquis. Gets a little push on the back from Harry Darling. Can Harness work his way through? He can't win it back. It's a bit of a pinball and eventually a turnover in possession to the home side. David Kazumu now working his way forward.
And is Charlie Daniels going to get there first? Yes, he does so. Harness left lying on the floor as MK Dons come again. And as we've seen, they enjoy spells of possession and enjoy a lot of the possession. And so does this man, Sorinola, who's worked his way into the 18-yard box. And Harness will now capitalise on that block shot from Callum Johnson. It's a ball over to Marquis, which is brilliant. Is he going to lay it off for Curtis? Opts to switch the play completely. And that's going to go out of play. No, it's not. Ryan Williams has denied the ball from leaving the field. And now this is Harness. Attack sort of quieting down a little bit. And Callum Johnson will play back to Jack Whatmough.
Don't slowing it down so much.
Maybe options moving forward ran dry a little bit from the Pompey boys on this right-hand side especially. Back to Craig McGilvery now. Ball goes over the top. Up towards...
shocking ball from McGilvery.
It's going to be an easy header down for Dean
Lewington.
Lewington.
Thinking, Tom? What was McGilvery thinking there?
You just wanted to...
He hit it 60 yards back to their defence.
I can confirm that Newcastle are a goal up against West Ham at St James's Park this afternoon. That one in the Premier League. Back here at Stadium MK. It's a throw-in now for the home side. And I agree with you completely, Andrew. I'm not sure what Craig McGilvery's intentions there were, sorry. Automatically, actually, Craig Dawson's received a red card for West Ham. So, and it's an own goal for Issa Diop. It's all kicking off at St James's Park this afternoon. That's a hefty challenge, but the referee's going to play on. And Marquis finds Curtis on the outside. Can he get the ball across? No, he can't. Is that one going to be a corner? Referee says no, it's going to be a goal kick. And Curtis is not happy.
He needs to calm down a little bit.
He's a bit of an angry man, isn't he, Curtis?
Yeah.
And according to a reliable source, I think Dean Lewington has actually gone into the book in the last couple of minutes for a dissent caution on the referee. So
Who's he?
He's the ginger guy. Sorry, am I in the way?
For what? MK Dons?
Yeah.
All right.
Sorry, it's the only way I can sort of point him out to you.
Well, I thought you were talking about Newcastle and West Ham.
No. Us. Left-hand side now, MK Dons playing with all the fluidity in the world. Scott Fraser now to Harness, who picks out Harvey White in the centre of midfield, nestling inside that centre circle.
There's two teams that pass the ball very well, moving to space time in a minute, and it's looking like a lively game, isn't it?
Tom Naylor. It is. I agree. Back to Jack Whatmough now. It's going to be a ball up the pitch.
Stop hitting the long balls over the top, Jack.
We've actually seen in the last couple of weeks, it's something we were discussing before kickoff, but you can see that Sean Raggett, and I know it's not that wasn't the case. I'll speak about that in a moment, but Sean Raggett finds himself miles up the pitch and he's marching forward. You can tell he's not an attacker as he finds Curtis, gives it to him at the wrong time. Curtis is furious that he hasn't got the foul there. The referee's going to play on, and perhaps he'll look back at that one when he watches the game back and maybe should have given a foul there. And it's an interception from MK Dons. They look to capitalise. Charlie Daniels is going to try and stop the cross from going in. Harvey White's back there as well. Confirmation that MK Dons have had 65% of the possession. Harvey White, cheap free kick on the edge of the D. That is the goalkeeper's D, that is. And once again, it's another free kick. And I think the Pompey players will perhaps hound the referee there and think, well, why did you not give Curtis his free kick in an attacking position for us at the other end of the pitch, Andrew, perhaps?
Yeah, that wasn't a free kick either, Tom. That was ridiculous. The player just ran across in front of Harvey then. Just literally running across the ball, decided to run across in front of the player and get himself a free kick. And the ref bought it. That's shocking. Harvey's saying, what are you talking about, ref? But it's a dangerous position, Dom, and they can strike the ball quite well from
They can, and if it was the other way round, you'd fancy Harvey White, who's actually conceded the foul on this one, wouldn't you?
You would, yeah.
But there we are.
It's about 4 players over the ball, Tom. Just outside the D in the centre.
There are. Harry Darling's one of
Just
them, we
off
can see
centre,
from here. Scott Fraser, the man who's got 11 goals to his name for MK Dons, is probably not going to take it, as he's perhaps going to lay it off as they do, and he hasn't, and it's a strike, and it needed to get a hand to it for Craig McGilvery. I don't think he did, actually. It's going to be a goal kick, but he was there
Wide, not very wide.
It was there
He
to...
would have covered it.
Well, I think I was about to say he's there to prevent it from nestling in his bottom right-hand corner of his net. It was wide, but will go down as a shot for them for the home side. As McGilvery looks to play out for the back to Sean Raggett.
Oh, don't give it to Raggett then, my word.
Charlie Daniels has fired one long up to the pitch. That's another long ball that doesn't come off for Pompey, and Marcus Harness is there just to sort of stand underneath it.
And
Thought
watch.
we weren't playing the long ball. Why?
Here comes Matthew O'Reilly now, working his way into the box. Charlie Daniels is there to try and prevent this cross from going in right on the edge. And, it's going to give a pen, isn't he?
They go down like a sack of potatoes, don't they?
That's another opportunity. And Sean's got a jammy dodger out. But it's not good use. And let's watch this one.
Oh, come on.
I think the lino is relatively close to that one. And I'd have to probably agree on this occasion that Charlie Daniels has taken more of the man than the ball.
Any score from this?
And that's really poor. And this is Scott Fraser, who's looking to make it 12 for his account for the season for MK Dons from the penalty spot up against Craig McGilvery. We know his pedigree with saving penalties this season. Quite a decent run-up for Scott Fraser. He will edge to the side, take it left-footed and score. And that is 1-0 to MK Dons. 41 minutes on the clock. And that lies solely, I'm afraid, with the man who's kept his position in the starting 11, Charlie Daniels.
No, it goes squarely with the Milton Keynes, Tom. I said earlier, they keep diving, don't they? And that was a perfect... He saw the ball going off the pitch, that striker, because he pushed it too far. He saw it going off the pitch and fell over and bought the penalty, and the referee bought it. And it's shocking, but there we are. At this point,
for me, it's a penalty. I'm going to completely disagree with my colleague on to my right here. Charlie Daniels is nowhere near the ball. It's in the box, albeit on the edge of the box. But he hasn't got a touch on the ball. He's taken the player where perhaps you could argue that he's denying what is somewhat of an obvious goal scoring opportunity. And I think it's the correct decision from the referee, Andrew. This is Jack Whatmough now. Callum Johnson back to Whatmough. And I don't like to say it because I don't like to see us conceding a penalty, but I know you don't like the way that players go down, and I agree he went down easily, but by the letter of the law, that's a penalty.
Yeah, I know that, but it annoys me.
No, I know
I don't
it
like
does.
to see players go down, whether they're our players or anyone else's players. Don't like it, full stop. Just don't like it. It spoils the game. It's cheating, isn't it?
So Marquis misses a penalty on Tuesday. Scott Fraser for MK Dons converts on the Saturday, and they are 1-0 up heading into the break. And what we were discussing before the stream, the importance of a decent start to the game. Well, it's not quite been what we're all hoping for, is it? As plenty of...
The ref's not giving us any free kicks, though, Tom.
Plenty
There's
of
another opportunity there to give us a free kick.
Well,
He didn't bother.
There's been plenty of opportunities, not only for free kicks, but plenty of opportunities. And I've got the goal the wrong way around, haven't I? Just noticed that. Sorry, everyone. Plenty of opportunities for Pompey to get in, get their necks in front even before the penalty. And although he's looking for it, I don't want to dwell on it. Although he's looking for it, I think it's a correct decision. Anyway, 43 minutes on the clock, and that's a poor one from Ryan Williams. It's gonna looks like a game that they will look to sort of grab and retain their lead, MK Dons, and all we can rely on, Andrew, is the fact that Pompey are very much a sort of a first half, second half team right now, aren't they? And we've seen quite a lot of that.
We haven't played badly, Tom. We haven't played badly at all. To be fair, it's a 50. I'd say if it's from a neutral's point of view, it's a 50-50 game. I say we both had 50-50 of the game, haven't we? We said they're relaxed. They've got nothing to play for. They can't go up, can't go down. They've got nothing, no sweat on them at all, have they? They want some pride, but they're not worried about winning this game. They'd like to beat any team, of course, because they're footballers, but you know, you want to go out there and play and win, don't you? But the point is, I think, they've given another one to them. Referee, if you're going to give free kicks, then be consistent for both sides. That annoys me, Tom. You know,
it's an interesting one, isn't it? Because
once you give this free kick,
well, it's a free kick.
It is a free kick, but the point is, he doesn't give them the other way around.
Craig McGilvery has picked the ball up. 44.5 minutes he's on the clock, and we're approaching the half-time mark. We are going to see a little bit of added time at the end of this first period because we've had a couple of injuries early doors in the half, and I'm sure the fourth official will have noted them. And this time, Daniels wins the ball, but only to concede a corner straight after that.
a sort of panic stations really from quite a few of the comments, but Logan has said it'll be 3 added minutes at the end of this one. Are the Cowleys potentially going to miss out on a long-term contract if the inconsistency of play continues to the end of the season? I'm not sure if
they will.
Mike will be joining us at the halftime whistle, but he was a massive sort of advocate for the fact that he reckons that the Cowleys have still are still in with a shout of having a long-term contract, and perhaps, as Andrew's quite rightly saying, that might dwindle those hopes a little bit. Marquis now, Harness has done well. Back to Marquis, edge of the box. He's going to look to get his strike away, and he won't do so there.
Oh,
and it'll be a turnover in possession.
Another chance that we should make more of, Tom.
There's something that backs up your theory, Andrew. Pompey have had 2 fouls to MK Dons is 9.
Yeah,
so that's the discrepancy there is clear for everyone to see. This is Ethan Laird now. Gets to the dead ball line and fires a shot across, and my word, Raggett is in the right place at the right time. Still alive for MK Dons, and Charlie Daniels with another off-the-line clearance. It hits Harness, and he's got to volley that as far as he possibly can, and he does so.
Off the line twice.
Yeah, absolutely. My word. That's too far away from you there.
It's not too far away. It's too much of a face. I want to lean forward a bit. To be fair to Raggett, he's done well there. He stopped him, and then
Daniels again, yeah.
Right where the defender should be, but Jesus Christ. And we had a chance the other end just before that, which is...
Well, we might have a chance here now. Johnson plays in Curtis. First time ball across. Marquis over the crossbar.
What's wrong with his boots? He's got the wrong boots on or what? He's whacked it over the crossbar from 8 yards.
I don't think he has, actually. I think that's come off a defender because it will be a corner.
Great opportunity.
It's a great opportunity. It's a great first-time ball from Curtis, and Marquis just, I think it came off the back of Dean Lewington, actually, and it will be...
It's nice to see Curtis not being so greedy there, because normally he'd take that into the box himself.
2 minutes of the 3 indicated has been played. This is a Pompey corner on this near touchline. Charlie Daniels is the man that's about to take it. Arm goes up in the air. Ball is delivered to the near post. Header back across the box. Harness, touch onto Williams. Back into the box from Raggett, and the header on. Anyone would have been offside if they run onto that.
Why don't they get out quicker? Why do they stay in the box?
Marquis now is looking to win the ball back off Lewington, who conceded the corner that he won earlier on. 2.5 minutes off the 3 added has been played now, and from a Pompey point of view, not the best of first halves in terms of the scoreline, but actually chances have been...
Give another one to them.
Well, because it was a foul again from Harness, and he's going to be careful actually in this second period that he might go in the book if he keeps doing that, Harness. I mean, the referee hasn't been the most consistent. They will take all the time in the world, won't they? I believe he's actually going to blow up for the half-time whistle there, the referee, and he has done so. Not good, Andrew. Half-time at Stadium MK. It is 1-0 to the home side. I wonder what very quickly your view of the first half's been.
I think I'm not going to blame the referee, Tom, but it's disappointing to see a one-sided blowing a whistle, and that's stopping the game in play when we've got possession or we've got an opportunity to. I think Marcus has got to slap himself in the changing room and say, what am I doing? And so has Curtis. They shouldn't miss those opportunities, Tom. We shouldn't be 1-0 down. It's shocking. And it needed talking to, don't they? They needed talking to.
Okay, well, we're gonna talk to some guests now. I'm gonna get rid of Andrew for the moment. I know. Well, he's still there. He's still on my right hand side. Let's bring Richard and Brendan and Mike into the conversation at the end of that first period, gentlemen. Mike, will come straight to you first because you're mentioning before the game how important a decent first half performance is. Hasn't been a subpar performance, but Pompey going a goal down. What have you made of it?
Well, I thought the tempo at the start of the game when Williams had a decent ball to play to Curtis to put him through on goal, and he decided to play it across the park to Harness, hit their defender and lost that chance. And then soon after that, he then plays the ball behind Curtis, and Curtis has to stop his run to allow Williams to run on in front of him. I mean, is he playing for us, Williams, at the moment? Didn't look like it in that first 10 minutes. But otherwise, there's been lots of running around. I'd say it's been about 50-50, I would say. But as Brendan mentioned to me the other day, we're not Premiership. we can't expect too much from these players in League One. I understand that. But what they are good at is deceiving the referee to gain an advantage. That's called cheating in my books. I don't like it. Andrew don't like it. I could hear what he was saying just now. I don't think we deserve to score. We've had chances, but I wouldn't say we're over the top on winning the game in any shape or form. I think the result at the moment proves that we need to get better in the second half, a lot better, I think.
Richard, where do you stand on the point that Mike and Andrew during commentary have made about simulation and the fact that MK Dons are perhaps, I don't like to say the word because it's not nice in football, but cheating their way through the first period?
Oh, it's absolutely shocking. I say you can see it. The players are coming to the edge of the box and they're just waiting. The slightest little touch, they're going down. The penalty, I've never seen an easier penalty given in all my life. But the problem is Pompey are just letting them come to them. We're just sitting back. They're playing easy football all around. Basically, it's like they're on a training pitch where Pompey are just figures, this plastic, figures or whatever, and they're just playing around. And Pompey aren't even going to. I noticed there when they just had the goal line scramble, there's no movement. There must be about 5 static players there, just looking at the ball, wondering what to do. And when we do push it forward, it's like when MK come down, they come down in numbers, don't they? They pass, cross the balls, left to right, this, that, and the other. There's people in the centre of the park. Pompey go up. We just seem to have Curtis, Marquez, and that's about it, really, because we don't seem to do anything with the ball. And then as soon as they, we get anywhere close, they do a foul, nothing gets given, they go up the park, they get fouled, and that's it. They've got a shooting opportunity straight away. And very disappointing to see so far.
Brendan, from my point of view, Harvey White, I don't like to say the word, but he has been slightly lightweight in the centre of midfield. How much have we missed the man whose shirt is hung up behind you?
Massively. Yeah, we're missing Ben Close, or even Andy Cannon's on the bench as well. I think he'd come on and he'd put himself about a bit. And we know Andy, it's why when he first started for the club, he only played 60 minutes because he runs and runs and runs and he puts the challenges in and he breaks the play up. We're missing Close and we're missing Cannon. Either one of them would fit in nicely. I think Harvey today has shown that he's not a defensive midfielder as such. He's more of a player that plays sort of like in a 10 or in a bit more of a forward role, a bit more of a creative role, rather than somebody who's going to sort of tick it over at the back of the park and make those last-ditch challenges. But just going back to what Andrew said earlier on about Ronan Curtis not scoring headers, and he wanted to know how many headers Curtis has scored for Pompey. I've done a bit of research. He scored 4 for the club, and now 4 last season in particular, out of his 11 that he scored. So you can't. He's a back post merchant as well,
and 1 for Ireland.
It's a
header. It was header at Ireland, wasn't it? I'm sure it was.
Oh, it might have been for the under 21s, wasn't it? Yeah.
Richard, what would you change in the second half, and can we hang on to that sort of that viewpoint that Pompey are very much sort of one half not very good, the next one perhaps a changed team under Danny Cowley?
That's it. When the Cowleys first came in, isn't it? We were a first half team. We played really well first half and then struggled for the second. Now we can't play well for the first half. I think we need to make the change, Cannon on straight away, like what we did at Wigan, and have that, somebody to bolster, have the defensive tackles, get the ball out. It's a shame for White. I say, I thought he might have done quite well today. Looking who they're playing, it's. I think Cannon. I think he's the only one who's got unless we moved Daniels, if he was to come off, and Rasmussen came on, maybe he played in the left or what, I don't know, just to have a bit more from the back. But we spoke about it earlier on, didn't we? We worried about that left side, and it's quite clear as soon as they get the ball there, cutting straight through. And is it because of White? Put Cannon in with Daniels, maybe it'll be a better show second half.
Mike, where do you go from here in terms of turning this thing around for Pompey?
I think we should try the back 3. I think we should go for Raggett, Mikolaus and Whatmough in a back 3 and push the wing backs forward. They have got 3. We've not taken advantage of them playing 3 at the back, and especially the old man Lewington on the left. or their right back, we're not taking advantage of his slow pace and slow thinking, because he has been off it. He's not been brilliant. I think we're also missing the number 10 role that we really, really need to have somebody in the middle of the park. If you look at it, there's nobody there from halfway line to going forward in the middle of the park. They're all on the left or all on the right. We need somebody there constantly to be able to feed it left and right from that position, rather than trying to do it all down the wings all the time. But play through the middle a couple of times.
And Lewington's on a yellow as well, so exploit him. Go down the left hand. Hit Curtis to turn him inside out.
They know it. The Cowleys know that he's on a yellow card, that he is the slowest and oldest person in the EFL. So why aren't we taking advantage of it?
Yeah.
Richard, you said 3-0 before the game. How do you see it now?
3-0.
Anymore, can I really?
Can we take one off?
Yeah, but we have, haven't we? We've got to come out fighting. You know, we've got to be stronger than what we are. We've got to have that attacking presence. You know, and Marquis isn't doing it, isn't he? You know, first shot I think wasn't that Rose Z? You know, it's not good. But no, I say, if I was honest, I would say 2-1 Pompey.
Brendan, Mike?
I'd love a comeback. Love a comeback.
We've done it before there.
Yeah, done it before. We'll do it again from 1-0 down as well. So yeah, we'll do it 2-1 and 1. I want it. I want a 2-1.
I'd like a 2-1, but I think it's going to be 1-1.
Well,
Cannon.
Don't blame you on that first one.
I haven't looked at the live table yet. I don't look at the live table.
Yeah,
no, don't want to look.
We'll refrain from doing so. Cover your eyes, everyone. Speak to you both at the end of the game.
Take care.
Right, let's bring Sean and Alex into the conversation for the first time this afternoon. Good afternoon to Mr. Hamilton. Again, someone else who's had a bit of a trim up, which is nice to see. Yeah, I don't know if you managed to sort of catch the majority of that first half, Sean, but I wonder how you saw it from your point of view. You may still have your microphone muted. Is this a bit of a repeat?
No, not at all. Not at all. No, I was worried when I saw the lineup. I missed the first 5 minutes of the game, but when I saw the lineup, I was worried because I thought Harvey White, Ryan Williams, Harness, and Curtis were all very lightweight. And if one or two of them are off the game, then we get through. And from the sounds of it, from what I've caught of the game, it's just, you know, we haven't stopped the midfield. They're dominating and they're bringing it back onto us all the time. And it has to change. I just can't think you can play Harvey White in there with the likes of Williams and Harness. It just doesn't make sense.
It's not really the match that perhaps Andy Cannon can provide between, you know, Curtis and Williams and Harness, because they've been playing together for a lot longer, and also it fits sort of tactically as well, Alex, doesn't it?
Yeah, I mean, I'm just thinking back in my head now to last time we played MK at their place. I think we were 2-0 down, and then we brought Cannon on, and then Curtis got a consolation. I think that's how it went. And I'm hoping the history doesn't repeat itself today. But yeah, I think Sean's right. It's very lightweight, and I think Harvey White needs space and he needs time to be the player that he supposedly is. He needs to be able to get the ball, think about where he's going to go, and then spray out wide. But we're not giving any time because they're pressing. They are pressing high, and that's what we know that the MK Dons will do. Russell Martin's not, you know, a slouch of a manager. He knows what he needs to do. But I think it's correct what the boys are saying. You know, they're playing the game maybe better than we are, and I don't like to say it because you don't want to see, you know, jumping on the floor and claiming for everything and getting in the ref's ear, but they're doing it more than us, and they're more, you know, successful with it. I don't know how, like, Curtis didn't get a free kick on the edge of their box when he nutmegged that player and went down, but you know, it's just, we've had chances. It's just I don't know why Ronan Curtis feels like he's got to hit the spectacular every time. Why is he taking those shots from outside the box to bend it in the far corner? Just run with it and just score. That's all we need you to do. It doesn't matter how it goes in.
Keep it simple.
Yeah. And I mean, Marquis's best attempt's an overhead kick, which is just incredible, isn't it? Or the one from the halfway line. So I don't. It's just. But
you can tell he's desperate for a goal, can't you?
Yeah. I mean, you can tell that, and as you would be, but it's just, yeah, there's just something not working, and it's tough because you don't want to, you know, necessarily say, oh, the Cowleys are getting it wrong, because I don't think they are, but they've also inherited a team which we know play like this. Like it's not dissimilar to how we've played. Let's say 10 games ago, if we played MK, we probably could have had this same conversation 45 minutes into the game. But they're inheriting a team which they need to be able to put their own spin on. But it's not easy to suddenly tell players, that have been hoofing the ball up at the pitch the whole time. I mean, I don't know how many long ball Jack Whatmough's played today, which is it's disappointing. But
especially for someone who can play football.
Exactly, you'd expect that from Raggett maybe, but Jack Whatmough supposedly is a good footballer with his feet. So I think it's just the pressing, and they're not wanting to be caught. I mean, McGilvery's had about 3 or 4, I think, where he's just tried to take a quicker goal kick, and it's kind of not reached the halfway line and not reached our player, and it's worrying because that they'll pick one of those up and they'll score. And the tackle from Daniels is just farcical. To stick your leg out like that when you're that experienced is just so frustrating.
Yeah.
What did you make of the pen, Sean?
It was soft, agreed. But in the letter of the law, he stuck his leg out. He was clumsy, and he shouldn't have done it.
And from an MK Dons point of view, they're safe from the drop. No real hope of the playoffs. It's just an afternoon that they get to frustrate a Pompey team that are in desperate need of 3 points right now, isn't it?
It is exactly that. But we shouldn't be frustrated by them. We should be putting them to the sword quite straightforward, really. They're not a good footballing side, but they're just playing it better than us, and we're set up wrong for them. But, had it been a previous manager, we probably wouldn't change things, and it'd probably just go on to the end. But we know the changes are going to be wrong. I'm hoping at half-time or shortly after, that midfield's going to get shook up, and White will be off. Curtis will come back to the left. They'll bring Cannon on in the middle, and then hopefully young Alfie with Marquis up front.
And Alex, that's something that we sort of, as Sean's quite already said, that we were sort of used to seeing very little, if not any, change at half-time. The Cowleys aren't shy to making a switch, are they? And how can we use that as a confidence boost going into the second period?
Yeah, I think that's kind of been one of the main things that's allowed us Pompey fans to, feel a bit more optimistic, to just know there will be a change. If there's not something going right, at least they'll try and change it. And that doesn't necessarily mean it will work, because the players they're bringing on, aren't world beaters. They're not players that you can rely on and say, right, he'll come on and he will score goals, because they're not that good. But because that we know that there will be changes, that puts a bit of optimism back in. And I don't know, I think we have had a bit of a problem with injuries and stuff, but Cannon is probably the natural person to bring on. Who else would we bring on? I mean, obviously you say Stanley's very young, but what we got to lose? It looks like MK are the team playing for something this season than us, which is worrying.
Yeah.
And just to mention the league table right now, I don't think there's quite be enough time for me to bring it up as a graphic on the screen on the screen for you before the second half gets going. But currently Pompey in 6th position, only because Charlton are still drawing with Ipswich, and obviously we've got Oxford are still to play this afternoon, and Blackpool too as well. I mean, what's their game? They're playing Sunderland. That remains.
That helps us, obviously, knowing that both of those can't pick up points. Or 3 points both together, but it doesn't make any difference. If they draw the game, we lose the game, it doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. We need to win our game. And Charlton, like I said, I've said that about a month ago, didn't I? I said I reckon they will sneak in. I just hope we aren't the ones that drop out. But we need to turn this round. We need points. And obviously 1 point, it doesn't seem enough, but it's far better than the situation we're in at the moment. But we just need to go for it. It's do or die.
Sean, if you're looking at the sort of the games that we've had in the last couple of weeks, and the sort of the situation is, we all thought it'd be a nice sort of coasting sort of run in towards the end of the season, and we were looking at the run of games, and Alex has mentioned it on a number of occasions that if they were dotted around in our fixture list of the season, then you'd think we'd pick up 3 points every time. Is it the congestion? Is it in the back of the players' minds thinking we really need the points right now, so we're starting to make sort of mistakes and whatever? And I don't know if you could argue that Charlie Daniels sticking his leg out was a mistake or just a poorly timed challenge, but can I play devil's advocate and ask you if the wheels are falling off the playoff bus, as I saw pop up on my phone about midway through that first half?
I don't think the wheels are falling off. I think what's happened is we are still plagued by the recruitment prior to the start of the season. I said at the start of the season, we don't have a lot of goals in our team. We have a lot of flair players who will contribute from midfield, but they are bit part players. You can't count on them for every game, and I think that's the issue. We haven't got those 2 players in your team who will be up there scoring 15, 16 goals consistently, and that we're short goals.
Score prediction, Alex, before we get going.
Positive 2-1, realistic 1-0.
Enjoy the second half, gents. Sean, 2-1 as well.
I'm going to go 3-1.
Oh, love it.
Good man.
Picture it full time, gentlemen. I'll let you shoot back and get your stream back on, because things are just about to commence for us. The referee is just checking either side once again. I'm going to sort of I'm going to bring you back in because it looks like you're doing something strange over there. So we'll just make sure that everyone knows that you're eating and not.
Eating, take me out.
But if I take you out, it looks even worse. Look, start eating again.
Just stay there. That's right. Leave me like that.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I've got to eat this first.
Okay, all right. We'll hold on for the moment as Andrew is still eating. We're back underway here, and Craig McGilvery already is called into action as the ball is lumped up towards Milton Keynes Dons. Your reaction to coming back in the stream was quality. I just saw it on there. The ball goes into the box. Oh, it's a strike. Oh, he's hit the crossbar again. That could have been 2-0 straight from the off. The first half is 25 seconds old. And already, my word, he's hit the crossbar. Early doors. I tell you what, I'm just going to sort of bring you out ever so slightly, but then you can see all my notes over there. Let me go here, and we can still see Andrew's eating away, but that's okay. Or just describe what happened to you. But again, Scott Fraser, who's on his could be, if that had gone in, could have been onto a hat trick this afternoon. That would have been his brace, and maybe even 3, given the amount of time that's left. Corner, subsequent one by MK Dons comes in, and that one's a bit more. It's been cleared away a little bit more, a bit more convincingly, should I say, from Pompey. But the ball is back with MK Dons in a decent position out on that left-hand side, where Pompey have struggled defensively so far this game. Callum Johnson's in a real tussle to win the ball back, and surely the referee's going to blow up for that one. He is. And again, it's been kicked away there from MK Dons, and that wasn't very sporting at all of whoever that was. But Craig McGilvery is going to urge his players to get up the pitch and fires one long and towards the head of Marcus, who wins it on the not on to Williams. Back to Lewington, who almost takes too heavy of a touch, and Williams can almost nick it off him. This is Harry Darling now, the 21-year-old. Back to Lewington, who opts to play in his keeper, Andrew Fisher. I've not eaten, Bims. I didn't.
You told me to get you something.
Just a snack. I didn't need everything.
That is a snack. Possible.
Right.
That especially for
That's a snack. We'll eat that then. Hold on a second. Tom Naylor now played the ball forward. 47 minutes. This is a decent opportunity. Ball goes across the box, and Curtis just can't quite get on the end of that one. My word. That was the best opportunity for Pompey so far this half, Andrew, and it's been played up towards Curtis. Tom Naylor flashed across the box, and if he had just, oh my word, perhaps even the best opportunity all game.
Well,
from a Pompey point of view,
he's only got to tap that in, hasn't he? And that's on for crossbar from Raganation, isn't it?
What more away? And that, oh my word, that's a handball. Surely, referee, got to spot that one. It is, and Curtis will take the free kick. He did see that one. He's going to mark it out as a. Right, here comes the ball. Well, there's it was, no, I think it might have been Naylor or Raggett who got the header on, and it came off the inside of the crossbar. Oh, my word. It is a free kick because it was a handball.
It's like a very short corner.
It is. Charlie Daniels is going to be the man to take it. Referee just marking out where he should be taking it. Here comes the ball. He's taking an awful lot of time, just waiting for the referee to blow his whistle. Ball goes into the box, and it's deep, and header across the face of goal. Jack Whatmough back in by Curtis. Sean Raggett perhaps might have been caught by the offside flag there. Yes, he was. The referee's going to let play continue through Andy Fisher. And are you all done? Wonderful. I'll crack on, and you can take over, Andrew. All yours.
Is it mine and me, Tom? Is it?
It's all yours.
Take yourself out then, because people don't want to see you eating, do they?
Well, okay, fine. You can have you all full screen if you want. There you go.
Yeah, there I am. Look. Here I am in the bedroom at the 4-0 studio, Tom. MK Don's coming forward again, dangerously. The guy's going to knock, I don't know who he's called, Tom, so I haven't got his name, but it's a number 10 for them. Sorrento, whatever he's called, the guy. And actually, well worked out from Pompey, then long ball from Harvey, which has gone nowhere again into their half, and it's now with their keeper, Tom, who's going to just turn and tap it to his centre half, who's, I think, a couple of boys said at half time, the issue is we're allowing them to play football as well. We're not closing them down quick enough, I don't think, and we're allowing them to play some football. That, for me, is an issue, because we shouldn't be. We look like we're a training pitch, as the boy said earlier. I think the Cowleys do an awful lot on the training pitch, and there's the difference between what they're used to and what they're used to now. So, yeah, I think, Logan, it's a little bit heavy, mate, to be honest. I think there's...
Read out what he said, then.
Logan has said, to be fair, seems the lads would struggle to stay up in League Two based on this form.
It's not a bad comment, is it?
Well, it's a little bit harsh in as much as we've won 4, lost 1 and drawn 1, and ref's going to give nothing there.
He's going to give a corner to MK Dons there.
Yeah, so it's a bit heavy. Given they've only had 6 games, Tom, it's not a whole season, is it? So I think there's still life in us in this game. Assuming they don't score again, I still fancy us, because we've had many chances. If we'd been winning this game 3-1, I said it the other day, we haven't taken our chances. The strike force have not taken their chances, but we've had them to be ahead in this game already. They've had a few, to be fair. It could be 3-3, could be 4-4, couldn't it?
Would you argue that these chances sort of, they change the game, don't they? And if they go in I know it's easy to say, but if they go in the back of the net, no questions asked. If they don't, problems start to occur, don't they?
Did Milton Keynes let him fall last weekend?
They did against Lincoln City, yeah.
That's what I mean. And Lincoln are half decent outfit, of course they are.
Is there any mileage in saying that we've caught 2 teams that have been at the sort of low points in their season, and they're coming back from quite a thrashing?
If you lose 4-0, which Crewe lost 6, didn't they? And Milton Keynes lost 4. What happens is they obviously, the manager gets them on we get them on a rebound, don't we? It's obvious. But then saying that, when we were playing under the other regime, we were losing games right, left, and centre, and not coming back from them. So it's difficult to know, Tom. But I think if you get spanked 6-0 or 4-0, you do come back in. But to be fair to Milton Keynes, they are a good outfit, and that's not taking anything away from them. They where the league position dictates isn't probably where they should be, I don't think, given a performance, Tom.
I have some breaking news for you, Andrew.
Yeah.
Fleetwood have doubled their lead. It is now Hull City 0, Fleetwood 2.
I don't think it matters too much to us, Tom, to be honest. But
I'm just saying, you said that wouldn't end that way, but perhaps Fleetwood might go on and put the Tigers to the sword.
What I meant was, I thought Fleetwood might win 4-0.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, no, I'm joking. But no, I think from listening to what the guys were saying at half time, they're all making very sensible comments about how we're playing, but I don't think we can condemn ourselves yet, Tom, until this next 45 minutes is up.
That was the sort of message that you were sending against Crewe, and
it was 0-0. But so, a point, as the guy said earlier, I think it was Retro said 1 point. No, it was I don't know. It might have been. We are Marcus on the ball now. Williams on the ball. Place through Marcus. He's got to put some weight on that ball. Why has he not got that? Oh, shocking!
It's
frustrating, isn't it?
It was a ball into the box, and it was again another chance that goes amiss from Pompey.
The issue is, Tom, we can't afford to keep missing these we're getting ourselves in the right positions. We're getting goal scoring opportunities that we're fluffing, and it's so frustrating, isn't it? When you think another day it could be 5. You know, okay, they could have had 3, but still the point is we could have scored 5. The strike force has got to put them away. You cannot just sit there lethargically and roll the ball across the box like that. You've got to mean it, haven't you? They do, to be fair. They get the ball and they play it quickly and they play into space. And I think because we're playing against a good footballing side, it just make it a bit more open, a bit more interesting.
Can I ask you what the situation is with you, where you stand on? I mentioned it to Sean, but have the playoff wheels perhaps come off for you right now?
No, I don't think so, Tom. The automatics have come off a little bit, but I don't think the playoffs have come off top. The other teams, Oxford have got to win tonight, haven't they? And if they know our score, And it gives them the impetus. They're going to have the impetus anyway, but it gives them even more impetus to go on and win it, doesn't it? So, and Charlton, they're dangerous, aren't they? So, there's 2 clubs there that you fancy to challenge, Tom. They're not going to give it up yet, are they? So it's a tough one this season. But
Richard said the wheels have fallen off if we don't get a result today. What do you make of that?
a little bit harsh, I think. I think that we still got 5 after this, I think, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. So there's still 15 points to play for. And all the other teams. Remember, when we look at these statistics, Tom, we have to. We're assuming the other teams around us are all going to win their games as well. But they're going to make mistakes like we are, and they're going to drop points like we do, and like everyone does. No changes at half time, which surprised me. I'd like to see Andy Cannon on the pitch, as some of the guys have alluded to earlier. Oh, was that a free kick for us? I think goal kick. Yeah,
it will be a goal kick.
I'd like to see Cannon on the pitch for Harvey. He's a little bit lightweight in midfield. We need to dominate midfield a bit more. We're not strong in midfield, and somebody like
William is here. He's
somebody like
he's been to ED, chopped his finger off. Hope all is okay, William. Welcome along. And Logan appreciates your optimism, Andrew.
Yeah, I'm sure. I appreciate Logan's comments, Tom, because it's nice to see. Football's all about opinions, isn't it?
This is Raggett now.
We have to stay optimistic, Tom. We have to stay positive, and we have to stay behind the boys, don't we?
It's actually something that Danny Cowley is a massive advocate of, isn't it? The fact that you're either positive or negative, and be positive about it, and you end up
being positive,
getting results, don't you? Perhaps.
Well, you look at things negatively or look at things positively, can't you? Oh, hang on. Cannon is coming on, and so is
Rasmus Nikolaisen. Right, making his way onto the pitch.
So he's going to go with 3 at the back, I think.
Perhaps, Mike, your wishes are command.
We've spoken, mate. Obviously, Nicky
Blackpool are now 1-0 up against Sunderland. That is a result that matters for Pompey.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, we'd rather Sunderland won that, I think.
We probably rather would.
So the results so far, Tom, at this point in the game, point in the day, are not going our way, are they?
No.
Including ours.
And this is the one that really matters. That one there.
Because if we win this game, the others don't matter. See, that's the point, isn't it? We've just got to focus on ourselves winning this game, haven't we? Because when you look over your shoulder every 10 minutes to think what are Oxford going to do, what are Sunderland going to do, what are Blackpool going to do, that's when, arguably, you could say the wheels do come off.
Well, that was very well managed. Well done.
Well, so this Tom, as I see it now, I think we're giving MK Dons. Well, no, we didn't give them a lack of respect.
We're approaching the hour mark now, aren't we? And nothing has come our way. One opportunity, perhaps, to write home about. This could be another one for Harness, who's using his pace down the right-hand side. Edge of the 18-yard box, gets across, and that'll be another corner for Pompey.
You see, the point is, corners we don't score that many from, and someone's going to go and look at the stats now and say, yes, we do. But generally, if you've got 2 players in the box and 2 defenders, we've now got 21 players in the frigging box, which makes life more harder to score than it does with just 2, doesn't it? So to win a corner doesn't excite me, really. To get that ball across and get it to a footballer is what does excite me.
It's good, mate. It was a good meal. Enjoyed that. I did really enjoy it. She's not watching, but thank you to the lovely lady that prepared that. It is Harvey White coming off, and for Rasmus Nikolaisen, and then it will be the Ryan Williams making his way for who I believe is a certain Mr. Andy Cannon.
So
sorry, no, that's completely wrong. Harvey White's still on the pitch.
Yes,
oh no, he's come off. I think the Byers is coming on.
Yeah. Well, I think that's fair. William sent down a lot this afternoon.
No, we need to work. We need to get that sorted, Andrew, because that's not quite right. Because I've said the wrong names there.
No, Byers is on.
So to confirm,
Byers and Cannon.
Nikolaisen and Byers, Williams and White. So Nikolaisen and Byers come on. Okay. Ryan Williams and White have come off. So no Andy Cannon as of yet.
Right, good.
Right, approaching the hour mark still here on Fournilwrittenalloverit. 58 minutes
get in the box,
and 43 seconds is what we're looking at on our clock as Ronan Curtis holds the ball above his head and he's frustrated that the throw-in's not been taken quickly.
Yeah, well, he should have taken it then.
Oh, he should have just gone for it, shouldn't he, really, to be honest? I mean, that would have been the clever thing to do. Curtis now on the ball and he's giving it away massively there. Oh, and that one will definitely be a foul, won't it?
Well, it would be because MK Dons has made it look like a foul.
And it is a double sub for Pompey coming on the 58th minute here at Stadium MK. Perhaps a little bit later than some of us were expecting, but it's happened nonetheless. It's going to be interesting, actually, Andrew, to see the formation that Pompey now take up.
Changed, Tom, was it?
I would imagine it's probably more like a 3-5-2 now, isn't it?
I don't know. I don't know why would you think that? Because Byers is just going to take the place of Harvey.
But they are like for like swaps, isn't it? Abby's interested to see if Byers can make an impact.
Well, Abby, you could be right. Let's hope so.
Throw in now from MK Dons. It's back to the man who took it, Ethan Laird, who's going to try and get a ball in. And Daniels has got to be careful once again because he's conceding quite a few fouls on that far side. And it's going to be a goal kick because the ball left Clay anyway. Craig McGilvery's going to take no time at all to take it. Back underway again from Jack Watmore now. We've only got half an hour left on the clock for Pompey to bring about some sort of change in this one. And could it be here as Marquis is getting a decent bit of ground on the ball approaching Andy Fisher? Put him under a bit of pressure there, the 23-year-old in goal, who's only kept 8 clean sheets so far this season in the 42 games now that MK Dons have played. And we've got 4 fixtures after this. Here we go then with the turnover in possession for MK Dons. Back up the pitch now. Hits Rasmus Nikolaisen, I think that was, and Curtis will find Marquis in the centre of the park. Back to Jack Watmore now.
Marquis wandering around in the middle of the park.
Ronan Curtis, ball over the top. Looking for Callum Johnson to run onto it. And will that one go out for a goal kick? Yes, it will. And Andy Fisher will take no time, or take all the time in the world, as a contrast to what Craig McGilvery would have done if it was his goal kick to take. And is now completely 60-40 in terms of possession. Pompey just racking up those percentages a little bit more now. It's kind of tables are turning in terms of possession, and perhaps that is something to note for perhaps what is to come for the rest of this game, Andrew. Hopefully, and obviously we've seen a couple of decent chances for Pompey in the last couple of minutes or so while we've been watching the game, and again it sort of mirrors the first half, doesn't it? In terms of Pompey with the chances to capitalise, but not quite doing so for whatever reason.
I'm pretty annoyed with Milton Keynes, Tom. I'm really getting angry about their dirty play. I don't like it at all, and I've said that on earlier in the game, but it's getting worse. They're just, if ball goes out for a throw and they're just wasting time on it, it's like they need to win this game rather than play their football. It's falling over whenever they can and just wasting as much time as possible.
Irritating to watch, isn't it?
It is irritating to watch, frustrating to watch. It's almost like they want to beat us for what reason? They want to cheat us out of the game for what reason? It's annoying. I shouldn't say these things, but it's annoying, isn't it?
You're more than entitled to say whatever you want with a reason.
It frustrates me that they're not professional about what they're doing, Tom. I'd like to see a good football inside that. Their manager must have told them, fall over whenever you can. Buy for time, 1-0 up, let it go out to play and just waste. Look at the time they're wasting. Look at him over there. Look at the time they're wasting. Like they're desperate to win this game 1-0.
It's a way to play the game, Andrew, and if that's their call, then
it's not the way to play the game.
Well, it is a way to play the game. I'm not saying it's the way; it's a way that you can. Marquis is trying to get a ball into the right-hand side, and Harness has done well there. Can he concede the corner? He's kept the ball in play wonderfully from Harness, but unfortunately, that one's just going to go back to an MK Dons, and they are just going to walk it out of danger there.
Oh, he's skipping past players.
63 minutes on the clock. They won't skip past Jack Watmore there, and he's done really well to win back the ball for Pompey. Ronan Curtis now driving towards the edge of the box. And again,
he's lightweight, isn't he? Curtis has got to do more for me, Tom.
And it is, I can confirm to you, 3 at the back. Watmore, Raggett and Nikolaisen is the message from the bench.
Okay.
So
they're putting 5 across the middle then?
Well, I was actually trying to use the right hand and left hand side as much as we possibly can. And it's 63 and a half minutes it's been played. And Gaz has asked, where are the fouls coming from, Andrew? Where are the goals coming from? Which
is a good question.
It is a very good question. We're struggling, aren't we, at this moment in time?
We're not. We're not lethally penetrating, Tom, are we?
No, and it's almost mirrors Tuesday. I don't like to say it because it was pretty lackluster, wasn't it? But it's almost rinse and repeat.
No, we've had a few better chances than.
Crikey, what was that? Just did a little shiver there. Watch it back on the stream. Look, watch me over here. Look at my little shiver over there. Ready? You're gonna see it any second now. Ready? Here we go. And is it happening? It's not happening. It's not happening. No, it's not going to happen. I don't think it is going to happen. Anyway, let's move on. There it is. We saw it there. Not that exciting. Hull have equalised against Fleetwood. Oh, clearly it was a disallowed goal for Fleetwood second. So it is now level terms at the KCOM Stadium. 1-1. So there we go. Perhaps I was getting a little bit ahead of myself. So my apologies there, ladies and gents. 65 minutes on the clock now. Thank you to everyone who joins us live across the planet here on Fournilwrittenalloverit. We're live until 2:30 this afternoon. Thank you to everyone for being with us. And what I will do at the end of the game is we'll get all the boys in at once, I think is the plan. We're going to try and get everyone in just to have a conversation for sort of 15 minutes that we'll get. We might not even get that much time, to be honest. But nonetheless, we'll keep the Pompey debate going on, and then you can join us back here on Tuesday night from 5 as we make the short trip to Swindon Town. We say hello to an old Pompey favourite, Brett Pittman. Josh McGuinness is the man who's got the goal for Hull City. On the hour mark, and that is the way to get back into the game. If there's any sort of positives to draw, Andrew, it is the fact that Pompey are only 1-0 down with only 65 minutes on the clock, perhaps.
Yeah, Tom. I think what's happening is it's MK are just sort of playing for time and wasting time, and not actually they're just trying to draw us out a little bit. And I think Curtis has got to score from this. If not, Marcus has got to do something. He's got to be stronger than that. Come on.
I don't think he's happy with the referee there, Marquis, but Andrew's probably saying what every Pompey fan's thinking there, and that you've got to try and hold your own as much as you can if you're a striker up there chasing it. But the flip side of that is the referee has been rather few and far between with his decisions for Pompey.
He's given them a free kick.
Yeah, I think he has, actually. Yeah, that's completely the other way that I saw that one.
See why Marcus is getting frustrated, because there's no way it's that free kick to them, is it? Not a chance.
It is poor, and the ball up the top is poor.
Problem is, when you get decisions against you like that, and it makes you angry to you, and I'm getting angry, you're getting angry, most people are getting angry, and Curtis certainly would be, and Marcus, because they're hot-headed at the best of times, and when you're playing the game, McGilvery.
Suicidal ball that Rasmus has got to do an awful lot, and he will do, because he's a strong man, but he'll hold off the defence, and that's really good play from George Byers. That's got to be a foul, referee, and it is, and they might...
Look at them wasting time again. You know, get away from that.
Being irritating.
It irritates you when people play, and players play like that. I wouldn't want our players playing like it, and I don't like to see their players playing like it, Tom.
Raggett now is the furthest man back for Pompey. Plymouth have gone a goal up against Burton. Back to Jack Whatmough, who fires the long ball over the top, and Marquis wins the first header. Will Harness win the second? No, he won't, but it will still drop to George Byers nonetheless, and he plays out, I believe that's Callum Johnson on the far right-hand side now. He's got a bit of ground to make up before he gets to the goal mouth. Harness has lost out there in possession, and it's a turnover in the ball, and there's a challenge goes in from Byers, and hopefully, well, unfortunately, Callum Johnson's a little bit too slow to that one. Michael's asked if they're being overtrained, too tired by match day, perhaps.
Well, I think Marcus looks a little bit lethargic, if I'm honest. No, fitness is fitness, Tom. The more training you do, the fitter you get and the stronger you get, don't you? So I don't think there's a question. They get good rest time as well. So these boys are professionals. They know what they're doing, don't they? It's just...
something to think of, though. Something to think about.
Look at this. Look, referee just is he not going to? He's going to. Linesman's going to give it, but the ref wasn't.
The ref probably wouldn't have given that if the lino hadn't flagged for it. But there we go. Assistant referee, we should say as well.
But not only that, Tom. Why can't the ref see it? Look, he's holding him back.
Well, he's being blocked by the number 16 there. His vision's a bit impaired, and he's probably, to be fair, relying on his lino on that near touchline to give that. But it's neither here nor there now as we move on, and the goal, it'd be lovely if a goal had been given, but the free kick has been given, and it wasn't there, referee, at all. I don't know what he's talking about, but there we go. It's going to be a delivery from this Far side.
Charlie Daniels.
It will be Charlie Daniels. It's a long old way out for a delivery. It's going to be a delivery nonetheless, and we're just about to tick over into 70 minutes. Welcome along to everyone who joins us live still. Ball goes in. It's a decent one. Back to Whatmough, and it's a diving save across the bows there, and he lost it initially, Andy Fisher. But now Pompey got to work hard, and Rasmus has got to time his challenge correctly, and he's done incredibly well. That is the best challenge. Stayed on his feet, won the ball, cleanest of challenges.
Yeah, he's a good player,
from Rasmus,
He's a
who's
great
more than making a mark on this game since he's come on. And this is George Byers now, who's also a man who's made a mark.
If he doesn't give it away, which
And
he does.
he does give it away there. Turnover in the ball. It was a decent free kick, actually, from Charlie Daniels. So what's even more sort of relevant to pick up on is the way that Pompey conducted themselves getting back, Andrew. And it was brilliantly timed from Rasmus. I think he deserves an awful lot of credit for that. Excuse me.
Yeah, no, he's a good player, Tom. We've said that, and he should be in the starting lineup every day for me. He's a great player. And he gets forward well as well, and he plays the ball forward well. And he's got a vision to what is, unlike this man.
Unlike Sean Raggett is the man that Andrew's describing there. Hello to, where's it gone? Your comment, was it up the top? Let me have a look for it. There it is. To Sharing joins us all the way from Nepal. Good evening to you, sir. Thank you for being with us once again. Lovely to have you with us. As always, we are now, 17 minutes in, so it needs to be now if Pompey are going to conduct an unforeseen comeback, which that's a bit of a challenge there from I think it was it was definitely on Byers, but it's the MK Dons man who's ended up on the deck.
Yeah, because he wants to breathe it, Tom.
Probably because he does want to breathe it. West Ham have got one back. Newcastle made it 2-0. It's now 2-1 West Ham. Crewe Alexandra, meanwhile, have had a man sent off in their game at the DW Stadium. They are 1-0 down to Wigan as it stands. And you could probably say that against a decent Wigan side, Andrew, 71 minutes in, it's probably the game gone for Crewe, you would have thought, perhaps. Confirmation here of a yellow card for Zach Jules, who's been carded on the 69-minute mark, so a couple of minutes ago now. Anyway, Issa Diop is the man who's got the goal for West Ham, and a little bit of treatment is being had. Hopefully this will be added on by the fourth official towards the end of the game. Gaz is reporting that it is 2-0 to Wigan, which I would not be surprised by. It's just slightly out of shot, but Danny Cowley and Nicky it is 2-0 to Wigan now, and Danny Cowley and Nicky are leading the team talk, and they are deep in discussion with the Pompey players. And sort of last time that happened, Andrew, we went on and scored, didn't we? So
yeah, we need to get a couple now, Tom.
Yeah. I think we said before the game, do or die, but that still applies, doesn't it?
Well, we've got to help ourselves. We can't rely on other people, can we? And at the moment, as we sit here today, we are relying on the results going our way. And actually, they probably won't be today. That's a great
ball from Curtis to dispatch Charlie Daniels, who switched over to this left-hand side. He's going to... that is brilliant from Daniels, who can make up some ground and put the ball across. He did so much of the hard work, and he just needed to get that cross right. The execution was poor there from Daniels. He's done so well to keep the ball in play.
It's a foul, wasn't it?
It wasn't a foul. He's won the ball there. You need to learn your laws of football. If you win the ball, it's fine.
Yeah, but he pushed him over at the same time.
Doesn't matter. Not necessarily. I didn't see it. He didn't see what he can't give, the ref. He's one of those. 73 now, on the clock.
Where's that tackle from?
Well, there's the tackle that the referee's definitely going to blow up for, and he has done. Can be all the time in the world that Ethan Laird's going to take to get up off his feet.
Yeah. Watch this. Watch this for a foul.
Yeah, it is.
It is a foul, yeah.
Watch that for a foul. Here they come again, MK Dons, and that's going to be not a foul on the edge of the box. That's a horrible little push there from Lewington on Curtis's back. He won't be happy with that. He's just sort of winding him up even more, isn't he? And you can see Curtis has completely lost his head now. He's not happy at all. Anyway,
he's getting wound up, isn't he?
Zach Jules now, who's picked up a yellow card in the last couple of minutes, finds his colleague on that left-hand side, and it's back to Jules. Now to Andrew Sermon. And Charlie Daniels has got to work hard. It's Marcus Harness, sorry, he's got to work hard to try and get the ball back off them.
Here we are. Come on in. Come on. This is going to be a better
Marquis
chance.
on the spin to Tom Naylor now. 15 minutes plus whatever's added on as stoppage time at the end of the game to go. Curtis has got the better of Lewington, who...
He hasn't.
No, he hasn't. I thought he had, but he hadn't. My apologies.
He did
There's a
initially.
turnover in possession. And, sure what the referee's going to do about that one. He'll probably just say play on. He's going to give it that one.
The second challenge he's going to
Second challenge he will blow up for, yeah. Oh. Anyway.
He should have blown up for the first one against them.
Hull have now taken the lead. It's Keane Lewis Potter who's got the goal. It's 2-1 to the Tigers. And Andrew, you were quite right in saying that it wouldn't stay 1-0 to Fleetwood. Hull City will now extend their lead at the top of the table. That's going to be a Pompey throw-in that Callum Johnson will roll to Jack Watmore. Free kick, sorry. Andy Cannon is making his way onto the pitch, I can confirm.
Oh, he's giving it away. Ragged Nation.
And it is actually Sean Raggett who is being withdrawn from proceedings this afternoon, Andrew.
Cart horse. Get him off the freaking pitch.
And Cannon will be the man to come on. Last ditch attacking change for Pompey from Danny Cowley.
So what's he going to do then? 2 at the back.
I'm not sure what the plan is now. Doncaster have doubled their lead against Shrewsbury. It's now 2-0 to the Rovers. And I'm wondering what's going to happen now with Raggett coming off.
Is this a sign? Is this a sign of things to come? Raggett being on the bench.
Well, let's hope so. 5 games to go.
What message has he got for the players then?
I'm not quite sure where Andy Cannon's going to play. I'm not sure. This would have hopefully been discussed beforehand, but it's going to give us a moment or two, ladies and gents, and we'll work out the formation for you. I'd imagine, Andrew. I feel like you've got Harness, Marquis and Curtis up top, and perhaps a midfield 4 of Harness, Byers, Cannon, and probably, I don't know if Naylor drops back perhaps, or give us a moment to be working that one out. I'm looking at it and hoping it works.
Johnson, maybe.
But nonetheless, Andy Cannon's joined the action, and Marquis has done well to hold that ball up there until he loses it once again to Zach Jules. He fires one up the top to Jack Watmore. He's going to have to deal with this. Going to need to be on the spin, as there wasn't an option to go home to Craig McGilvery, and he's going to concede a throw in the process. And time is running out, Andrew, rather quickly, unfortunately.
Yeah, I think there's probably 15 minutes left with added time, Tom. So we've got to get. But the thing is, we don't look like we're going to score, do we? We're not hitting the crossbar and putting them under pressure, are we? Oh, he's let that go. Look,
he has, and now there's danger in the MK Dons box. He won't give another penalty. Referee, hope not. It'd be just like him to do so.
They're winning every 50-50 ball.
They are. It's just not falling for Pompey, is it?
Well, it's not that. It's just not winning the ball. They look far more competent on the ball than we do at the minute, Tom. They to be fair, they look a better outfit than we are. You can't really argue with that. Curtis has won that back well, and then he gives it away again. We've been giving the ball away so cheaply this afternoon, and they're taking advantage of it. Every ball they pass, it does seem to get to one of the white shirts, and everyone we pass, it seems not to.
12 minutes left, plus whatever is added on. A stoppage time. Harness dispatches to Charlie Daniels on that far side. Jack Watmore's back involved too. This is Tom Naylor, who has definitely dropped
he's gone back
to the back. And Rasmus with the silky skills, and West Ham could be on the turnaround here. They've equalised at St James's Park. It's 2-2. Interesting that they made, and it's Jesse Lingard who's got his shooting boots on. I think Marquis could take 2 tips off him, and this is Callum Johnson who finds Marquis, who again doesn't win that 50-50 ball, and Rasmus is in there to win that one. And this is now George Byers. He fires a long ball over the top, and that one will reach Charlie Daniels. He switched sides once again, back to Ronan Curtis. This is Andy Cannon now. Is he going to manage to get his cross away? He hasn't got that quite yard of space that he needs to do so. Byers down to Johnson, who gets his ball in. Curtis will rise the highest, and that one will stay in play. Charlie Daniels now Can he get one back in? Cannon. Almost 80 minutes on the clock, and Pompey a little bit more conservative with their possession in these late stages. Tom Naylor puts it out wide to Callum Johnson. It's going to be a ball in. Is it? No, it's not. Once again, Tom Naylor finds himself out on the right-hand wing, and Callum Johnson tries to get away from his man, and he can't quite do so, and it's dogged defending there at the back for MK Dons. Eventually finds a ball through to Curtis on the spin.
That's Cannon, isn't it?
To Marcus Harness now.
God.
Back to Andy Cannon. And MK Dons just can't win the ball back here, and Andy Cannon is forced back to almost the halfway line.
It's good football from Pompey, but
and Jack Watmore's going to slide in, and ref, don't give that one.
red, isn't it?
No, he's not. He won the ball, Jack. No. That's not even a foul in my book. I'm not sure what all the kerfuffle's about.
And why MK?
I thought that was a.
No one got injured.
I thought that was a fair ball for Jack. I thought it was fair and square there. I thought that was fair enough, and I'm not sure what the referee's going to produce here. It better not be an. Oh my God!
That's poor referee. That is poor referee. MK Dons surrounded the referee like he killed
It's
someone.
not a foul.
Watch it, Tom.
He's got the ball at his feet. He's won it. No. No.
They're making a meal of it, and it's cost him a red card. Oh my fucking goody end. It's just I mean, they are. But we said before, Tom, that they're not a very desirable team, Milton Keynes. So I don't like that sort of sportsmanship. It's not reasonable and fair. It's cheating their way into the win, isn't it? But now we're in big trouble because we haven't even got Jack Watmore on the pitch for 3 games either, and they won't rescind it because they won't. Like, there we are.
And this could be 2 from MK Dons just to make Pompey's afternoon even worse.
It's not though. At the minute, it's not.
This is looking really poor from Pompey point of view.
Not poor. It's not poor from Pompey point of view. It's actually not that bad from Pompey point of view, Tom. It's when I say that, it
is.
It's not.
Andrew.
It's not that poor,
it's
Tom.
2 horrendous decisions this afternoon from our players. Charlie Daniels to concede the penalty. Jack Watmore to be sent off.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. I agree with that, Tom.
Yes, but hang on, let me finish. What I'm saying is there was no need to go in for it. B, I don't think it was a foul because he was on the ball at the time. Yes, it's a heavy touch to put in front of him. He's gone in like that with his feet up. Imagine these are his feet. They're not.
Do that.
You can't do that, but he's won the ball in the process. It's 2 dodgy decisions. That for me renders a poor afternoon from a Pompey point of view. Whichever way you see the game.
They're just giving them another free kick. They love jumping, diving, don't they? I tell you what, if I was the manager at MK Dons, I'd be disgusted with my team. He's told them to do it, hasn't he? Obviously,
I can absolutely concur with what Zach's saying, and we do need to get out of a league with terrible referees and awful pitches. You appeal the red card, you don't get anything for it. We've been here before, haven't we?
Yeah, but
we've been here before several times already this season. It's 83 minutes on the clock now. And it's looking like what we thought 5 games ago would be perhaps even something we challenge for the playoffs now. Perhaps even challenge for the automatics. Now, oh my God, they just hit the post again. If that had been 2, I think I would have had to walk. I'm relatively speechless, I'll be honest with you, Andrew. I don't really quite know what to say. Because it's been such a poor afternoon for me. And I know you don't see it that way.
I'm disappointed, Tom. Like all the other fans and Pompey fans will be. But it isn't as poor as it looks like because of the way that Milton Keynes have approached the game. And I don't admire it at all, mate. If we were playing like that, I wouldn't watch it again because I wouldn't. It's shocking. that Sermon's come off now for them. And that throw-in from Charlie Daniels there to Andy Cannon was suicide. 3 players around him, and he throws a ball to him.
What I was just saying there.
They're winning everything at the minute with DONS, and they look like they want to win this.
Well, we now need the final whistle quite quickly from a Pompey point of view, because we all know what happened with Shrewsbury. How nervy that was. I know we came away with the 3 points, but now we're in a completely different scenario. Although the red cards come later on in the game, it's his second straight red of the season for Jack. The first one, arguably, 2 of them are on the fence red cards, depending on your point of view, aren't they? But
yeah, the thing is, as a professional footballer, you cannot jump in 2 feet like that, and that's what he did. And it's pathetic, isn't it? Where's that gone?
Luckily, we are not going to have too much time to digest this one on the stream. But with 5 minutes to go, over the top to Curtis, and he's going to have to run that one out. 5 minutes to go now, and as I just said earlier, that Pompey could really do with the full-time whistle right now, and we're just. I mean, what I was saying beforehand, and what I will say again is at this point, 5 games ago, before sort of the situation that's in front of us in terms of, I think it all started going a little bit pear-shaped at Wigan, didn't it? Although we got the win, it wasn't a convincing one by any stretch of the imagination. And then, since then, we haven't quite been at the races, and perhaps we've had too much to.
Well, we've had Marcus out for 3 games, haven't we?
But what I'm saying is,
2 red cards
at that point,
two really dodgy, 3 or 4 really dodgy referees.
But at that point at the Wigan game, we were sat there thinking we're going to have a nice breezy end of the season. We've got the nice teams to play in the league. You couldn't have thought of a better selection of games. And then all of a sudden we're almost fighting for a playoff spot now, because this one is now, we're watching it now, and this could quite easily be 2-0 them. And there's been nothing the other way from a Pompey point of view for a good 5 minutes since the sending off now.
Well, one or two.
We're into the 87th, and at best, what you can hope for now is any sort of equaliser. That is the very, very tippity top of the tree that you'd get. Well, exactly.
Looks very
That's
unlikely.
the very best case scenario.
We've committed 16 fouls.
We haven't.
I know we haven't.
I'd say they're probably about 8. Just give us your opinion now from where you're sat and from where this game will inevitably finish, Andrew. What's going on now? What do we do?
We're struggling, Tom. I think bang goes. I'm going to buy £7,000 worth of Jammy Dodgers, because we ain't getting into autos now. That's definite. Are we getting the playoffs? We're going to start asking that question next, I think, because although we're playing some nice football, that he's got to be offside, and he is, and now just look at him kicking it away under 87 minutes, kicking the ball away because he's offside.
It's been a frustrating afternoon, hasn't it? And even since the
Here we are, Tom. Look out, Tom.
It's Ronan Curtis who's battling away with. I wouldn't be surprised if another man was sent off in this game, because it's getting to that point, isn't it, where it's
he's giving them a throw in. Look how long he's taking for this.
He will take his time, won't he? Of course he will.
And their warmer, the guy sub there on the line warming up, kicked the balls right away there. The sub. Their sub.
It's not warming up, is it? 88 minutes. Well, he probably will. They'll probably make a substitution in the last minute, won't they?
How bad can they be? Time wasting at home against 10 men.
If you're just joining us live on Fournilwrittenalloverit, make sure you subscribe to the channel, because we're going to need.
Oh, he's done him.
Oh, it's Will Grigg now working his way down the right-hand side.
He's going to take it to the
I was
corner.
about to say we need all the freaking hope in the world at the minute. It might give us a little bit of luck, but be lucky if we come out with this one 1-0.
to them. It's a challenge from Naylor that isn't blown up for the referee. MK Dons working their way into the 18-yard box. Can Matthew O'Reilly get his shot away? He's a decent strike. We know that from what we've seen of him so far. It's got to be a foul on Andy Cannon. Yes, it is, says the referee. MK Dons are surprised by that.
Again. Look, he's running away with the ball again, that black guy. Watch him pick this up and run away with it, Tom. Look.
It's quite reminiscent of a certain Mr. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, but at this level, the referee has been conned. He has. Tottenham played Man United last weekend, if anyone was watching it, but the referee had an absolute number done on him by all of the MK Dons players, and I think
Not MK Dons.
yeah, he's had a number.
Today, you mean?
Yeah, he's had a number done on him on all the MK Dons players, and I think I speak directly to Russell Martin here when I say, you really want to be playing your football like this as a mid-table League One side? Yes, you probably do. But from our point of view, it's incredibly frustrating. It's going to be 5 minutes of additional time where 5-10 minutes ago we would have thought, right, brilliant, this is an opportunity for Pompey to perhaps even nudge themselves back into the game. But right now, it's like, blow the final whistle right now.
Get into him. Get into him. Make the tackle. People just walking around like there's nothing left in them. Look at it.
Anyway, we are now deep into stoppage time.
We're not making the challenges, Tom, are we? Get into them and make that challenge.
I'm literally, this is how bad it's getting, but I'm sat here staring at the clock in the top left-hand corner of the screen, just waiting for it to just disappear as quickly as it possibly can. Craig McGilvery's eager to take the goal kick. And it's sent long and sort of 3/4 of the way up the pitch, and Marquis wins the header. But of course, the referee is going to blow up for a foul.
Yes, because the MK's on Dons is on the floor again, isn't he?
He's on the floor again. We've still got Oxford to play this evening in League One. It's a 5:30 kickoff for their game against Gillingham, which we've discussed already this afternoon. But it won't be a 3 points automatically for Oxford. I think they'll have a tough game against Gillingham because Gillingham are a side that have picked up some really good points against some good teams. Yeah, exactly. So that's kind of a silver lining to a very, very dark cloud for Pompey right now.
Well, yes, it was out of the playoffs or not?
Oh, I don't even want to look really, but I would imagine we probably are. We'll be discussing this rather briefly at the end of the game with the gents. With just
another one on the floor.
3 minutes left on the clock now, and it's going to be more. Pompey still retain their playoff spot just, and it's a 0-0 draw that Ipswich are playing out against Charlton that keeps them there. If Charlton score a late one in their game against the Tractor Boys, then that could all change. Will be Charlton's first draw in the space of 2 games, having beaten Sunderland 2-1 just a few days ago, and it's Hull are now over the 80-point mark, 82 points at the top of the league for them. Currently, the playoffs are occupied by 3rd place Sunderland, 4th place Lincoln, 5th place Blackpool, and 6th place Pompey. 2 points behind them are Charlton in 7th. All Oxford need to do is win by at least a goal, and they will displace Pompey in the playoffs this evening.
Yeah, they know that, don't they? Obviously.
It's the 14th loss for Pompey, and only Ipswich, Oxford and Doncaster in 8th, 9th and 10th have more losses than Pompey in the top half of League One this season.
For me, Tom, any Milton Keynes Dons fans or the team or the professionals of that football club should be disgusted with themselves, frankly. The football they've played this afternoon is just shocking in terms of the behaviour of the players. Absolutely shocking, and I don't like it at all. I wouldn't. If our team were playing like that, I wouldn't watch it.
It's a sport at the end of the day, isn't it? And you're expected to be sporting.
Oh God, he's gone down like someone shot him again, and a yellow for Byers. Well done, boy. Watch him go down. There's such a bunch of cheats.
The other thing,
look at that.
The other thing, Andrew, as I saw Retro Shirt Sean's comment pop up, and I didn't get a chance to read it as I saw it, but this is now Pompey only with Raggett to play, and obviously Jack will have to drop out, won't he? So we'll see a lot more Erasmus, but
Well, he'll swap places. I don't mind Jack Watmore or Rasmus. Either one of those two is fine by me.
No, but what I'm saying is Raggett will be in there, won't he? Because we haven't got Jack as the option.
Yeah, he will be now because he's the only option. But
Mm.
I'm saying that if Jack's not in the side and Rasmus is in his place, I don't mind that so much.
No, I know you don't, but we'd much rather have Jack and Rasmus, wouldn't we? As we said for Yonks now. Zach Jules for MK Dons has got a ball up the top and they'll be happy to
Look at that. Boots it into the stand. Well, he's got to get a yellow for that, hasn't he?
No, he won't get a yellow for that, will
No,
he?
he should do. What right's he got to kick it into the stand? Cheats, mate. And it's not me sour grapes. This freaking really upsets me.
Mm. And as Scott's quite rightly said, this is quite sour, but they aren't actually a real club, are they? I asked a couple of MK Dons fans when they last were at Fratton Park, so who did you support before MK Dons was a thing? And I got some pretty blank-looking faces back in the day.
I remember that. Yeah, it's great, wasn't it?
Yeah.
In fact, we asked lots of them that question, didn't we?
I can confirm that the Ipswich Charlton game has finished, so Pompey lucky in that respect with that result that Charlton haven't leapfrogged them. And I can confirm that the full-time whistle has gone. And seeing as we are tight for time this afternoon, I'm going to bring Sean into the conversation. I'm going to bring Brendan in on the job as well. He's not quite ready for us yet. Richard's here as well. Gents, we're going to go all out because, as you know, we're slightly tight for time this afternoon. We'll come to Sean first. Full-time at MK Dons. They don't have any fans anyway, so it doesn't matter, does it?
Yeah, it's a disappointing day at the office, really. I think from the team selection through to the actual team performance, critical errors, just what were we doing? All the things that Cowley era was renowned for. We weren't pressing, we weren't passing, we weren't high at the pitch. It was boring.
A lot of handbags afterwards.
And it was just depressing with the players going down all the time. It wasn't even like a good game of football. It was just interrupted, and watching the clock tick by. It was, yeah.
Poor. Brendan, Mike, I wonder how you saw that one this afternoon.
Not very good at all. I'll tell you what, Milton Keynes Dons didn't batter us. We were terrible. That was our problem.
Yeah, but as I said at half time, it was positive attempts by Milton Keynes to deceive the rest of the referee to gain advantage all the way through that game. There was cheating. I don't like it. Andrew don't like it. I don't think any of the lads like it. But we weren't on the metal either. We weren't on the... When the balls came in, where was our striker? He was on the edge of the box. Why wasn't he on the 6-yard box like he should be? Why wasn't Harness like that as well? He missed a good one that came in from Daniels. And if he'd been there where he should have been, instead of being late again, we would have got the goal back. There's plenty of opportunities for us to score, but like Andrew said, we were deceived, not just by the MK Dons. The referee was certainly a homer in this game.
Yeah, and obviously towards the end of the game, you literally just mentioned it when they got caught for the offside and then they kicked the ball into the stands, and there's no yellow card for that. You know, if Curtis did that in the 90th minute, he'd be booked, wouldn't he? But obviously they could get away with it, and just another trip to Milton Keynes and another defeat, unfortunately.
Richard, really tough one to take, considering the opportunities that Pompey had to put them to the sword at the sort of the tail end of the first half and the second. I know you were disappointed with the way that MK Dons were playing, and is that the major footfall for Pompey? Is the fact that their opposition weren't particularly sporting this afternoon?
Well, we look at the sporting aspect of it, but we've got to look at our aspect of it on the fact that we weren't very good whatsoever. Even if we that could actually play football and didn't dive every 5 seconds, we still would have been in the same situation. We still would have been only playing 2/3 of the pitch and having nothing up at the top end. I put in the feed with regards to when obviously Jackie was about. We seem to be playing now the same as what we were to the last few matches that Jackie was. You know, we've had that little burst, the changing of training, etc. Players are learning new things, but now other teams know exactly what we're going to be doing. You know, and that's clear to see. You know, we're trying to play the ball along the floor. They're counter-attacking us all the time. Players are just standing still, and it's just disappointing to watch. And you know, if we don't get a result against Swindon, and everybody else does, then I honestly think that we are going to struggle to even get 6th place.
Gaz, we're going to have to delegate a little bit because we're really tight for time. But your thoughts on the red card, Jack Whatmough, and we'll get everyone's opinion on it. But it's silly to go in, isn't it? And that's now him out for 3, and we're stuck with Sean Raggett and Rasmus as your 2 centre backs now.
Yeah, and the worst thing is, it's he's done it again. You know, he's already learned once. You know, he's already had a red card. He's already had a red card, hasn't he, before? It's the same situation. So it's like he hasn't learned. Basically, the team didn't show up today. You know, MK. You know, they bought the referee before kickoff. You know, they just played into his own hands, really. Do you know what I mean? And obviously, Daniel's. You know, he's an experienced player. Gave the penalty away. Jack's had a head rush. And now we are in trouble. It's not like automatics was a possibility a few weeks ago. You know, like Andrew was saying. You know, I was coming across automatics. I was thinking, all right, but you know, I'm hanging in now to the playoffs.
And as Gaz is quite rightly saying, Alex, look, it was a point a couple of weeks ago as we were looking up. Now we're well and truly looking down behind us, aren't we?
Very much so, and I do wonder a lot of the time we get to this stage. Why do we just? What's the point? Why do we care? Why do we care at 3 o'clock on a Saturday this much? Because it's just pain. It's literally pain. But yeah, we're looking down, and that's not ever where we wanted to look. But these players have been inherited by new managers, new style. They're not. These players are not good enough to just go right. Well, I can actually play football now. This manager believes in me. Doesn't matter. You see, John Marcus, his touch is always a second touch is a tackle every time. Every single time we paid £1 million for that man, which it literally is farcical because you can't have a player that can't touch the ball and then play for £1 million. And it's just so frustrating. And you know, Gaz is right. And I said at half time, it's the most experienced left back or the player we've got on the pitch, and he's just dangled a leg to a player that he knows is going to go down. We know exactly after 5 minutes how they're going to play the game. Why give the ref the decision to make? And Jack Whatmough, I don't know what he's going through his head, if very much. But clearly, the IQ in this team is very low. But you know, that's football.
Just to build on what you were saying, and we all do it for the badge, of course we do. But there are some people that join us live who've got up at 3 a.m. to watch that, so because of the early kickoff.
Hats off to you, Noel, because you're a better man than I would be at this stage. But
absolutely. Just finally, Sean, because I know we are now incredibly tight for time, but the one thing that you just pointed out to me while we were chatting was that Jack's now out for 4. We've only got 5 games left.
Yep. So we've got that lovely pairing of Raggett and Rasmus. Shall be interesting. Obviously, the more pressing concern for all of us watching and part of the stream right now is the fact that how do we want our Jammy Dodgers? Do you want it in singles or family packs?
We've got a question coming in from for our supreme leader on the left-hand side with his live hat on. Go on, throw it in there as quick as you can.
Right then, guys, just a quick question. And do we want another 3 games of agony? Are we going to get in the playoffs? And if we are we going to win any of them?
We'll go around the circle, starting with Sean at the top.
Are there better teams in this league that are going to get in the playoffs than us?
If we get in the playoffs, anything can happen. Swindon game will be important if we're going to get in the playoffs, like I said. And as long as we win that game, we'll be in the playoffs. Then it will depend on momentum and whether we can get the best 11 on the pitch coming into those 2 games.
Brendan, Mike?
Well, I will say I've already got a packet of Jammy Dodgers coming from Andrew. So I'm going to now say that we will not make the playoffs. Ooh. And he can give me another packet.
Ooh. Brendan?
I'll say we'll probably make the playoffs, but we won't reach the final at Wembley.
Richard, how do you see it right now?
We won't reach the playoffs. There's better teams around us, and we'll have Paul Downing on the bench as a sub, so we got no chance.
Gaz?
Yeah, always the bride. Always the bridesmaid, never the bride, basically. So it's going to be no playoffs, I reckon, for us.
Oh, you boys are depressing me.
Right, well, I'll turn that round, Sean. We'll make playoffs if we win more than we lose in the next couple of games, and if we don't deserve playoffs because the state of the teams we've got to play is just a joke in this league. So we don't win them. I can sit here on that last game of the season we haven't made playoffs and go, we go again next year.
Oh, excellent. Well, you asked the question. You have the final word before we leave the viewers. Go on, playoffs or no playoffs? Considering this was a man, everyone, that reckoned we were getting automatics just a couple of games ago.
Right, automatics, fellas. I can see the automatics. With the exception of Gaz, because it's too far to send. But I think we're in the playoffs, Tom. We clearly need a striker though, don't we? Because Marcus ain't up to it. He wasn't up to it today. He was right off the pace today. He looks like a spent man. I don't think he's good enough anymore, frankly.
Okay, gentlemen, thank you very much indeed. We're going to let you all shoot for obvious reasons. Have a fantastic rest of your weekend. We'll see you all on Tuesday night.
Okay. See you later. See you later.
Still plenty to look forward to here on Fournilwrittenalloverit. Whether we're looking forward to it or not is another question. But at the moment, what we're looking at is Swindon Town is next up for Pompey. Tuesday evening, join us from 5 o'clock. That's followed by Bristol Rovers making the trip to Fratton Park on Saturday, the 24th of April. That one's live with us from midday, 1 o'clock kickoff there. Accrington Stanley follow that one Tuesday, 27th of April. It's staying at a 7 o'clock kickoff. Join us an hour before for all our coverage from 6. Finally then, AFC Wimbledon, Saturday the 1st of May. That's the only 3 o'clock kickoff of the normal season left for us here on Fournilwrittenalloverit. We'll bring you every moment of the action live from 2 o'clock. And then after that one, it's this, our Super Sunday live on Fournilwrittenalloverit. End of the season special. We'll take a look back at all the highs and lows of this season's brought us. It's Portsmouth versus Accrington Stanley is the game, 12 o'clock, midday kickoff. Join us for our coverage from 10:30. And that could be a decider. If things stay the way they are, that might be, is it playoffs or is it not? And it was sort of a 50-50 split, wasn't it, on the stream as to whether the boys thought we would be in there or not. We'll leave that up to you to have the final word, whether we get the playoffs or not. But for now, all that is left to say is enjoy the rest of your weekend. Thank you for joining us all afternoon and all morning if you were here then as well. Keep the faith. And Andrew,
play at Pompey.
Play at Pompey. Bye for now.